I am taking my sweet ass time this morning, it seems, and I am feeling a little experimental. I might even play a human in a fantasy game. Now that's daring. I almost forgot my coffee. Where's the button I need to press? I have like one of those Steam Deck things, and sometimes the buttons don't work. It's just like, great. Of course. Morning, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Alright, everything looks to be up and running. Elemental Asura, huh? That's what you're thinking? I hate to disappoint. But that is not what I'm thinking. Yeah, so on the YouTube side, we did do a Star Wars stream yesterday because of May the 4th. Unfortunately, yeah, it got copyright striked a lot. And I tried to fix it. It lets you like try to go in and erase like the it was the sound, it was the music, because that's what, like, you know, Star Wars is for lightsabers, and then the music is epic. But yeah, I tried to go in and use their tool to erase all the sound bites that it was flagging, and it just turned into a Frankenstein video. And I thought, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this one in the bin. It's on the Twitch side. I did make a short. Really, I just want to show the intro. I thought it was really funny. I used my Mandalorian mask, which is back there, but yeah, I did a short of it instead. I thought that'll be good enough for the YouTube side. That's about all I can do for it. But yeah, it was a fun stream. Star Wars: The Old Republic is great. Great game. Kind of derailed what we were doing because really wanted to get started on Guild Wars 2 here, which this is a game, if anybody is unfamiliar with Guild Wars 2 and you have any question, whether it be for the story, the lore, the game mechanics, systems, early game, anything, I'm almost like a walking encyclopedia for this game. I played during the beta, I was in at launch, and this game absolutely captivated me. This is, what was I playing before this? This came out after, just after Star Wars: The Old Republic. And so it's actually kind of fitting that we had that stream yesterday, and then we kind of jumped into it here. But my first real MMO was like Lord of the Rings Online and Guild Wars 1. And when Guild Wars 2 was announced, I was like, okay, that looks cool. So we went full steam ahead with this game, and I did not regret a single moment. This game is awesome. Twitch side, can you guys give me like an all caps message? I want to see if I tweaked the settings correctly there. Because, yeah, last time it kept flagging because, like, there we go. Thank you, Dan. Okay, we fixed it. But yeah, any questions you have on Guild Wars 2, I got you. I hate human rangers. Well, shit. I never said I was doing a human, but I am going to do a human. We can talk about the races. Actually, one of the things about Guild Wars 2 is they have never added another playable race, which is something curious about an MMO. But you have the Char here. We'll just go down the line. The Char, they are cat-like, animalistic. They have horns too, so I don't know. There's some sort of beast, feline type character. Very much like warmongers. They're actually the first inhabitants of Tyria. So Tyria is the planet, but it's also the continent we're on. And part of the large section of it was ruled by the Char. And so they're divided up into these different legions. You have the Ash Legion, which is like sneaking, intelligence, kind of like spies working in the shadows. You have the Iron Legion. They do like siege equipment, steel work, stuff like that. You have the Blood Legion. It kind of like Blood Angels from Warhammer 40K, but they are very they love battle. They do warriors, conquest, stuff like that. You have the Flame Legion, which is like their shamans or magic casters. And then I think that's all the legions. I think there's just 4 legions. I could be forgetting one. I don't think so. Anyways, they used to rule most of Tyria. So that's kind of what their race is all about. Then you have the humans. The humans are actually not native to this planet that we're playing on, Tyria. They were brought here by their gods. And when they came, they essentially, with the powers of the gods, they pushed back every, I would say, race that was kind of had control of land, and they carved out their own kingdoms and stuff. And there were 3, in Tyria, there were 3 major human kingdoms. There was Or, there was Ascalon, and then there was it's Kryta. It's like the one place we're actually in. It's Kryta. Or was destroyed. Ascalon, kind of the Char took back, but not all the way. There are still humans that live in Ascalon. I'm a big Ascalon fan, by the way. And then there's Kryta, which has now become like a melting pot of all the human nations. Kind of like their last bastion on the continent. But they're very cool. I love the human lore, actually, in this game. And you could only play a human in Guild Wars 1. So a lot of the story is human-centric. That's a reason we're going to play human. You have the Norn. These are like shapeshifters, kind of like Vikings. But again, they can transform into different animals. They are supposed to be very independent, as in they don't usually gather together for any sort of like cities or tribes. They stay very by themselves. Even if you have like a child, you let that child go do their own thing while the parents are already doing their own things. So that's what the Norn are supposed to be like. They only speak for themselves. They don't speak for their people. Unfortunately, in Guild Wars 2, their story or what their race is supposed to be about kind of got butchered. And they're just big humans now. They act like big humans. But in Guild Wars 1, they had some really good lore. And it's unfortunate that the Norn kind of aren't as cool as they used to be. Then we have the Asura. These are rats. They live underground. That's about it. We have the Sylvari. They're kind of like elves who, they're very graceful, but they're naive because they are like the new kid on the block as far as like a major race. They're also plant-like. So they're very cool. They're like Guild Wars 2. They're like Arena Net's like. They're really proud of the Sylvari race. They've gone through a lot of iterations as far as their aesthetic. Very cool looking. I do like the Sylvari a lot. My favorite are probably goes human, Sylvari, rats, Char, and then Norn. So that's kind of like how I like the races. No, but the Asura are cool. They have like this Aztec Mayan architecture. They're really good at technology. They did live underground, kind of like mole people. And they have basically the places that they've colonized on the surface are just this like cube sci-fi looking places. Their experiments, their technology, a lot of it is like one-offs, not really like industrialized or mass produced. Some things that they do that their race is really well known for, golems. They're really known for their golems and making different types, and they kind of have that one to a T. And then waygates, being able to instantly teleport. So that's kind of the 2 major things the Asura bring to the table as far as all the other races. Now, and then amongst them, everybody has like their own like little science projects, and so you'll see all sorts of crazy shit from them. But just know, I would say they're big. I would say that they're crazy technology, like advancements. Again, they're very much like one-offs, very experimental. Asura are cool. They were cooler in the first game. They're okay in this one. But we're gonna go, no shocker to anybody, we're gonna go for a human. Now, I already have a human male ranger, so I think we'll make a female. I also love the art style here, the paintbrush. This looks amazing. This looks really cool. I love the aesthetic of Guild Wars 2. They really do feel like a MMO that tried to move the needle forward for the genre. They didn't just stick to the tab targeting. They're all fun. So every race has their own beginning, like almost like origin story that takes you from like level 1 to 20. And then the stories all start to converge eventually. You get a lot of different choices, but the branches get like, you know, smaller and smaller and smaller until everybody just kind of reaches the same endpoint. There is a crazy amount of just little triggers as far as NPCs that you'll see and stuff like that throughout the game that are involved with the character stories. As in, I think ArenaNet, they went above and beyond with the base campaign. In a lot of ways, you can respect what they were doing, but I don't think most people even recognize how much went into the base campaign here. And so it's like, was it even worth it in the end? I think, yeah. I would say for the really dedicated fans, they definitely noticed the small details from like every different story choice. And then again, people you'd see, NPCs that would come to help, etc. The main story of Guild Wars 2, really good. But we're going to make a human. And again, I already have a ranger male, so we'll go with the female. Also, the metagame for Guild Wars 2, it's not any sort of profession or anything like that. It's literally just a human female. There's so many human females in this game. I think just aesthetically, they get a lot of good stuff, and it all looks good on them. But we also have professions. Professions are classes in this game. Oh, they have a complexity meter right here. Let's see how much I agree with these. We'll go down the line. Guardian, this is like your paladin. From Guild Wars 1, this is basically what the monk got turned into, which was a dedicated healer. Favorite expansion, Lana? Probably Heart of Thorns. I played a lot of Heart of Thorns. A lot of it. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it a lot. Yeah, Heart of Thorns is probably my favorite. But Guardian here, yeah, this is your paladin. Very supportive. A lot of melee, or not melee, but a martial focus, but has a lot of like supportive spells. They're really good at buffing people with protection, and they also have Aegis, which will block an incoming attack just fully, so you'll take no damage. Very powerful. Their complexity is a 1. I kind of agree with that. Guardian is very easy to play, but very effective. Love Guardian. This is actually surprisingly, this is actually my main profession right now that I've been playing for the last, I don't know, couple years. Love Guardian, really good. Warrior, this is your fighter. They just get in there and they beat the crap out of everything. They have really good mobility. And they're exactly what they are. They're a warrior. They have access to almost every weapon in the game, every combination of weapon. And they're just about getting in there and beating the crap out of enemies. And they also have a good way of just sustaining like themselves. They do provide support to the party, or if you're playing with people, with banners. They throw down these war banners, and they buff everybody around them. So warriors are great. They're like the commander. They do like that type of archetype where like you could be the like squad leader, the captain, or you could go in there as like a berserker and just absolutely rage. Warrior is also in my top 3. So my first one is definitely Guardian, and then my secondary profession that I play the most is a tie between Warrior and Ranger, and we'll get to that Ranger in a second. Revenant, this is the only new profession they added post-launch of the game. And this came in Heart of Thorns, the first expansion. Revenant is pretty cool. It's this, again, martial character. You have 3 heavy armor wearing professions up here. Guardian, Warrior, Revenant. And you got 3 medium and 3 light. So at launch of the game, yeah, there was only 2 heavy armor classes. But Revenant here, kind of like a Dark Knight-ish, maybe? I don't know, not really like a Dark Knight. Their whole thing is they invoke the spirits of past legends. So there's a lot of Guild Wars 1 legends that you can invoke, and then they throw in some new ones too that are just from lore that we've never really interacted with. But they're cool. They kind of have the same thing going on with like how Guardian is a mixture between martial skills and magic. They kind of do the same thing, except it's with mist magic, which mist magic is kind of like it's like dimensional magic, something like that. It's different. It's not like it's not natural, or it's natural, but it's almost otherworldly. Whereas Guardian, it's very much just the natural magic that's already in the world. Revenants draw upon the mist. So they're cool, and they don't need to see, so they have blindfolds, so that's a thing. Yeah, the mist is kind of like, yeah, it's like another dimension. It's very abstract. Basically, it's a place of infinite possibilities, but it's also very dangerous. I don't want to say it's like the void, because it's not, and the void is a term in this game, but I guess eventually we'll get to that. Anyways, next row, engineer. This is my least favorite. Oh wait, what does this say? Complexity 2? Sure, I probably agree with that, somewhere in the middle. Engineer, this is my least favorite profession in the game. I can't tell you how many times I've made an engineer and just ended up scrapping them. But it's a tinkerer. You know, you'll use gadgets like rocket boots, bombs, turrets. So that's your sort of thing. Scrapper's pretty cool for that. They also have they're able to use this hammer, and they call like these little bots that follow them around. Engineer's cool, but I just don't like the way it plays. Thief. I played a lot of Thief at a certain point. Kind of fell off it, but Thieves, kind of like assassins. You eventually get like a sharpshooter sniper. So that's basically Thief. They're cool. They do what you think they're gonna do. They can go in stealth. They backstab. Thieves used to be absolutely disgusting in PvP. I'm talking they would just if they got the proper crit on an enemy, just one-shot them. It was great. That's why I played a Thief, actually, was because they were just so almost like broken in PvP. They were just crazy. Yeah, I just don't like engineers. I don't like their playstyle. It just feels clunky to me. And maybe I just don't also like the aesthetic. I think that's my problem with engineer. These are like, though, they're cool. Assassins. Oh, if you play Guild Wars 1, they also had assassins then. They renamed it to Thief because assassin was very much a term that was born from the expansion, which was factions. And it was very much a Eastern theme expansion, but now with base Guild Wars 2, kind of returns to like a more European roots. Anyway, so that's why they call it Thief instead. And we have the Ranger. Rangers are awesome. What is the Thief difficulty? 2? I don't know. Stealth it can be kind of hard. And then 3 for Engineer. Maybe that's why I don't like Engineer, because it's too complex for my small brain. I like to play the 1 difficulty professions. Anyways, your Ranger. Ranger is very much that survivalist. They have a pet companion, and they very much rely on that pet companion. So this is the pet class. They eventually get Druid. So there is like a Druid in the game. So that magical side with nature. I don't really care for Druid. I like the more Ranger side, which again, survivalist, master of the terrain. Uses a bow. I never noticed this bow actually sitting here. But they have a lot of different fighting styles. They get a lot of different weapons. Every class here, they're not locked into, or every profession here, they're not locked into one weapon. There's a crap ton of weapons that each profession can use, and that's what I love about this game, compared to Final Fantasy XIV, where you choose a job class, and you're locked into one weapon the entire time. You can't switch weapons at all unless you want to switch your job or your class. Nope, in this game here, Rangers can use a short sword or a one-handed sword. They can use a two-handed sword, bow, longbow, hatchet, etc., etc. It's great. I love that system for Guild Wars 2. So Ranger here, this is what we're going to pick. But we'll continue on. Now the coolest class, the cool class in Guild Wars 2 is the Mesmer. This is an illusionist, a magical duelist. This is a very, very cool spellcaster, and it's pretty unique to Guild Wars overall. This is kind of like their unique spellcaster, because you don't see this playstyle in a lot of other games. They do a lot of cloning. In Guild Wars 1, it was a lot about interrupts and putting on big debuffs that would like drain an enemy's life. Mesmers are awesome. They're very powerful. This is probably the most powerful profession overall in the game as far as just like lore. A lot of really important figures in the game that we're going to meet, they're Mesmers. And throughout the game, you kind of get to see how powerful they are sometimes. Really strong, though. Mesmers are awesome. We have Necromancer. What did they say a Mesmer is? 2? I'd maybe put Mesmer at 3 because of clones and then getting them all to synergize. I think that can be a little complicated, but they're fun. They're really good. Necromancer. This is a Necromancer. They also can be a little bit of a minion master too, which was a fun playstyle in Guild Wars 1 where you just summon this whole undead horde and you send it out at everything. It was great. I like Necromancer. They are very powerful in this game. They do a lot of leeching. So when they hit a target, they steal that life and give it to themselves. Very tanky. Big power hitters. Can also fit into condition damage as well. Necromancers are cool. We like those. Oh yeah. Mesmers also get chronomancy. So they get to do a little bit of time magic. Chronomancer used to be busted as hell when it came out. The bunker meta where literally nobody could kill you. You just had such strong defensive capabilities. That was a good time. That was a really good time. It wasn't a good time if you didn't play Mesmer, but if you played Mesmer, yeah. Guild Wars 2 very much encourages that you have one, or you have lots of alts. So try out every single profession. So what's up next is the Elementalist. Ooh, this is 3 complexity? Really? So Elementalists are cool. They're not like your traditional mage or wizard. They can swap between elements like on the fly. So everybody else gets to swap weapons. Elementalists, I think they can do that now, but their main thing is swapping the elemental types. So you'll go from fire, water, earth, and air really fluidly. But that does mean that there's a crap ton of abilities that the Elementalist kind of has to be aware of as far as the rotation. So that's probably why it has the complexity so high, because everybody else, you have your weapon that you can swap, and then you get another skill set, and then you just have your utility skills, and then some of your F abilities. Your F abilities are usually centered around your profession, but Elementalist has a crap ton of F abilities. So I guess that's what makes them kind of difficult to learn, because there's just a lot of skills. Yeah, if you like playing the piano and you want your fingers to really dance, play Elementalist. I guess Engineers too. I can't speak on Engineer. There's just one thing I can't do. But anyways, we're gonna go with the Ranger. Ranger's awesome. We gotta hunt down some pets. That's the other thing. Rangers get the unique gameplay style of you get to go hunt animals in the wild and charm them. So they get to do that unique feature. Nobody else gets that. So we're gonna go with the Ranger. And the character customization in this game is actually pretty good. Choosing our height here. We're not going super tall. We'll go somewhere in the middle. And then you can also pick your physique. And there's really a lot of different body styles. So you got a lot of choices here. I think they do a really good job of letting you customize and make whatever character you want. Really, for me, let's get a 6-pack. We're a Ranger. We go out in the field. We need to be jacked, in a sense. Let's go with, I guess we'd be a little bit slimmer. Again, you're in the wilderness a lot. Diet's probably not the best. We would be a little tan. So Kryta used to be a nation of almost like island-looking people, where they would be really tan, really tropical-looking, just folk in general. Ascalon was that traditional, like European medieval fantasy type people, and then almost a little bit of like Roman Empire mixed in with them as well. And then Or was, I think, more Arab. Honestly, we never really got to explore Or too much in the previous games. But if we're going to be from Kryta, or we could be of Ascalon origin, it would be a little bit paler. Not that pale. That's fine. And so you also have some preset head options here. There's some good looking choices. They added in, what I love about this game is, as we've gotten expansions themed around more of an Eastern style, we've gotten more of like an African style as well. They've added these different face models to kind of fit those locations of people. But guess what? They didn't charge you for it. They just added into the base thing that you can choose it from character creator right off the bat. I feel like most studios would like charge for this. Nope, not Guild Wars 2. They are extremely fair. Did I mention this game was free to play? The base game, completely free. Completely free. So if you're like, ooh, this game actually looks pretty good, go give it a download. It's all free. Face styles. Let's just go with this one. Yeah, that works. We're gonna make it a little bit grumpier looking later. And then lots of hair too. Same thing with the kind of, we were talking about the faces. As time has gone, ooh, this is new. As time has gone on, they've added some new hair models. A lot of these I haven't seen yet. Because I really don't... That looks nice. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Look at these. Look at those braids. Might go with this. Yeah, I kind of like it. We always go with the dark hair. That's too dark. Maybe chocolate brown. Yeah. And our accessory color, it's almost like a highlight. You can see her there at the end. Maybe we want to be a little bit paler. Let's look at some of the other faces with this hairstyle. This one looks crazy. This is a new hairstyle. I'm not sure when they added this. Get back in the zoom in so I can see what faces. I want us to look... This one actually looks pretty good too. Man spends over an hour in character creator. If I was really smart, I would like timestamp all this shit. I kind of like this look now too. Let's go... What is the difference here? Alright, I like the first one better. A little grumpier looking. Yeah, kind of like seeing some shit. Can we put... We have scars too, I'm pretty sure. And then also, you can continue tweaking your look, where you can change your eye angle. Now, it keeps you pretty much in a pretty tight parameter, so you can't make something truly monstrous. I mean, you can, actually. But it keeps you in somewhat of a check. No, that's too much. The brow thickness, really the eyebrow placement. Yeah, we're always kind of like squinting. Can't trust any of you. And the angle. This is really, really not sure what's going on here. That's pretty good. A little more tame. And the width. Let's, I think we're fine in the middle. I don't like to mess with things too much. Oh, they already got us with green eyes. Well, how did they know? And yeah, if you've seen our Final Fantasy series, I kind of did just make almost the same character, except we don't have cat ears. That's a trick they're missing. I think lips and everything are pretty fine. Are we, like, squinting too much? Nah, I think she looks great. Maybe the head size. I always adjust the head size in this game because I feel like their heads are a little too big. And maybe make their head a little bit more narrow. Yeah, I think we're coming together nicely. Okay, I think those eyebrows are going to annoy me. There, that looks a little bit better. We don't look like our eyebrow, like, well, we're just kind of looking at like this. Let's keep it tame. Yeah, some of you know that the end game is the fashion. They call it Fashion Wars 2. And the female characters almost like get the best fashion. So there is a helmet with ears. We might have to look into how to get those. Toggle lighting. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, we're not going to randomize appearance. Okay, and then your armor die. The dyeing system in this game for your armor dies is amazing. We don't really need to mess with this right now because it's starter gear. We're going to get rid of pretty soon. Oh, well, you always got to go black. How the green looks. I don't like these greens. They're a little too much. Let's just keep it the base. And we'll go next. So now you get to pick your first pet. Out of all these pets, we're going to take the bear. But we're going to get rid of this really quick. We'll go to next. And this is your personality. Like your main personality trait. Are you charming? Do you have a lot of dignity? Or are you ferocious? This is a system that's very much an RP system. They played with it a little bit in the base game, but it really never went anywhere. Oh, you want to go back to the frog? It's a drake. It does look like a frog salamander now that you mentioned it. These are cool enemies. In the job or the profession trailer for it was either the warrior or the guardian. These things can breathe fire. And so they had one of these breathe fire on the warrior, and they held up their shield and blocked it. It's so ugly, I love it. Alright, we'll go with this. We're changing this out. I don't know if you got we're gonna get a wolf. Always go with the wolf. For us, I think we'd be a little ferocious. Rangers are they're independent. Their charisma, probably at an all-time low. And then you get to pick your background. So this is now deciding our story. Because each one of these has a different origin story that has to do with your race. So we could be a street rat. Street rat. It's the Aladdin song. I'm not going to sing it because I don't know it off the top of my head, but that always reminds me of that. Yeah, your personality thing, it doesn't really matter. The bear pet is one of the best pets because it can tank. You can actually, funnily enough, you can beat the entire base campaign with just letting your bear pet do everything. Which is kind of funny. Bear very strong. Bear strong. You can be a commoner or you can be nobility. I think we might go with nobility because there were prequel books for Guild Wars 2, and one of the heirs to the Crichton throne who wasn't going to take the throne was a human ranger, and they had a big dog as a pet. And they're like, oh, so-and-so's not gonna fight for the throne. She's too busy out in the wild with her big hound or something like that. It was literally like a one-liner. Anyways, I always liked that. So I think we will go with nobility. We're noble that maybe doesn't care for our roots. Yeah. A noble with a big old scaly drake that follows her around. This is probably why we got kicked out of like the upper city. So we keep these ugly animals around. Everybody's like, can't you just have a dog or even a bear? Like, no. We want our drake. That's kind of funny. I like that. We're going to go with that. And then they ask you another thing about your background. What's your biggest regret? Unknown parents. Your dead sister, which is kind of fucking dark. And then missed opportunity to perform in the circus. We're not going to do that one. I like the you never knew your parents, and then I like the dead sister. Unknown parents actually fits pretty well into the story because there is this order within the human nation called the Shining Blade, and they're kind of like the secret service for the royalty, so for the queen. And so this plot or this origin choice kind of plays into that, and that becomes more relevant as the story goes on and has some like really focused story beats for it. So if we really want to like align our character with the story, I think we'd go with that. But also, I like this one as well. Kind of gets you into the current events with the humans as far as the centaurs. They're kind of like the main antagonistic force that the humans are dealing with. I'm trying to think, where else does it take you? This was my first choice, by the way. It was the centaur, and I think I chose commoner. But commoner, and then the centaur, I think that was my first choice as a for my first character. We'll go with the centaur. I haven't done this one in a while. And then because we're human, we have our gods, and these are the ones that brought us to Tyria, except for Cormyr. Cormyr is like the most recent human who has like ascended to godhood. That happens all in Guild Wars 1. People either love Cormier or they hate Cormier. I'm kind of indifferent. I appreciate her more over time. But you have Dwayna here, and they kind of give you their whole spiel here at the bottom. Goddess of healing, air, and life. So I think she would fit pretty well with a guardian. You have Grenth, god of darkness, so necromancer. I think they go well together. Balthazar, the god of war, warrior-like. And then you have Melandru here, nature, earth, growth. So kind of fits with the ranger. That's probably what we'll go with. And then you have Lissa here, who's probably a fan favorite. I think my favorite too. She just has a lot of unknown things about her. She does things in a much different way than all the other gods. She's by far the most interesting god in my opinion. And then you have Cormier, the goddess of order, spirit, and truth. Kind of like almost like a paladin god. So maybe Guardian would fit well with her too, but we're gonna go with Melandru. Just earth, nature, sure. That goes with the ranger. And then last thing you choose is your name, and we're gonna go with Wayfaring Nomad. If any of you have taken this, I'm gonna be very upsetty spaghetti. And once we collect this, or press this, we're gonna get an intro that is unique to the choices we just made, but also for our race. And this intro's cool. Your god has like a little bit,
the human race once ruled,
especially if you choose say something like Balthazar, you get some different choices.
Now
Boom.
We struggle to hold our ground.
Yeah, the humans used to be the dominant race on the continent.
Been defeated, driven back, and broken. But we will not surrender.
I love this. This is a great look.
Many nations have fallen. Only Krytus still stands.
Ascalon still stands too.
Our faith is strong, despite the silence of the six gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in divinity's reach.
This game has a beautiful aesthetic.
The city is my home. I was born into luxury, a noble of divinity's reach, and privilege comes with responsibility. I protect the commoners
We're rich.
under my care. They believe in me. I'm grateful for their trust, and I will not let them down. Today, I plan to venture beyond the gates of the city and see the world for myself. When I arrived in Shaymor, I found the town under siege by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. I will show the people that we can triumph, that there is still hope.
Is there now?
This is my story.
I was wondering if they're going to say that line. I haven't done the intro in a while. Little trivia. When the game first launched, this is like a little tutorial section. When the game first launched, somebody literally sat here and leveled to max level, which was 80. All in the prologue here. Absolute mad lad. They were an engineer. Hey.
Everybody get to the inn. We can protect you at the inn.
Okay. But Guild Wars 2, really fluid movement, but also has weight behind it. Love how Guild Wars 2 feels to play. And then the animations. It's satisfying to use a bow. Maybe I'd like him if it one-shot him, but very, very fluid. Guild Wars 2's combat is almost second to none as far as this hybrid between being tab target and then we're gonna get some abilities to ground target. But really, really cool. How's our hair looking in the back there? Maybe a little too dark. If I open my inventory, so we have these shared inventory slots. This is something that I would say veterans have a lot of, and these are across all of my characters. So I have something that's going to help us break down materials. This is for a different system, but I have a permanent self-styling hair kit. At any point in time, I can change my hairstyle, and this is just a big-ass convenience feature that cost a lot a lot of money in the game. How did I get it? Or you gotta be extremely lucky. A centaur, fuck off. I was gifted it by a friend. So that was great. But we can go ahead and just follow the quest along. The green star kind of just lets you know where to go. Sergeant Walters reporting for duty.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thackeray's calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious. But I can't spare anyone.
I'll go. Captain Thackeray's never failed Divinity's Reach. If I can help him, I will.
Balthazar, bless you. That's the spirit that'll win this war. Good luck.
So, that cutscene there, the way the characters talk to each other, which is that, you know, they're on two different sides, that eventually goes away. I kind of liked it. But yeah, they eventually do away with that, like, cutscene style of conversation. But I enjoyed it. It's very unique. Yeah, you can't do anything like with the cinematography as far as like moving the camera or showing things that happen or that are happening like around them. But I think it's good for like big dialogue sections because later on in the game, there are just times when the characters just yap and yap and yap. And that's fine for a first time playthrough, but if you're doing like a second run in a story mission for an achievement, ooh, those scenes they kind of drag. And if we could just skip them, that'd be great. But anyways, we're just going to Shaymore, or the garrison. We're in Shaymore, which is literally the town just outside of Divinity's Reach. And that's not exactly good news for the humans that these centaur are basically able to push right up to our capital city. Now, could they breach that city? Hell no. Those walls are huge. But the fact that even places outside of it aren't safe, not a good time for the humans. Our gods, the human gods, used to be actually like walk among the people here. But they eventually decided, okay, we can't have direct involvement with humanity anymore. We'll just kind of like protect them from afar in a sort of way. And even then now they pulled back even further where they don't even help anymore. Oh, here's Logan Thackeray. Damn, we're kind of tall. But we gotta wait right here. You can see in the top right, we have defend the garrison. We gotta get this done with. This is a cool little fort. This is where all the players would come together. Yeah, we're doing a real good job here. So they've got their champion coming in. Once we defeat him, we can move even further. And you can actually skip all this.
Take down their leader.
Well, let's go ahead and hit him really quick. But yeah, you can skip this whole section. It's just that defense part right there inside the garrison. If you just go along that side over there, there's a slope you can go up, like past the little river. And they summon these big ass hands from the ground.
What is that thing? It's huge.
Yeah, the Creed, you get the right of it, where the gods brought us here and then said, okay, good luck. Yeah, Logan Thackeray here, probably one of my favorite characters. He at least has, like, nuance to him, and he's not, like, perfect. And he is voiced by Troy Baker, who is, I don't know, probably one of the best voice actors in the gaming sphere. Well, this part here, really simple. You just kind of shoot the hands, kind of lets you know the target here. One of the things that Guild Wars 2 does really well are these giant-ass open-world bosses and events. Now, of course, this is like Tutorial Island, so this isn't tough at all. We're not in like any sort of danger. We'll just keep get in there. Get in there, River Drake. What are you doing? We don't have our abilities to command them yet. Look, there's another player right there. We got two players. Nice. once we defeat this,
Not dead yet. Brace yourselves. Think it's gonna explode.
so supposedly we got hit by one of those things falling off it.
Where am I? What happened?
You were injured when the elemental exploded. Captain Thackeray brought you here personally.
Our hero.
You've been unconscious for 3 days. You had lots of
Damn.
visitors. Villagers you rescued, some seraph, even a noble from the city. He came by several times.
That'd be Lord Farron. He's a good friend. I'll check in with him once I'm fully recovered. What should I do now?
Fresh air and exercise are the best medicine. The goddess Dwayna helped you. Perhaps you could help others?
Thanks, I will. And thanks for taking such good care of me.
Bless you. You'll find plenty to do out in the valley. May Dwayna protect you.
May Dwayna protect you. Yeah, so there are no like traditional side quests in the game. You won't find NPCs that you go and talk to and you pick up a quest. Everything is built with with the dynamic event system, and Guild Wars 2 does it great. Now, this kind of comes back and bites them in the ass later on when they try to add side quests because they hide it in this menu here. And this is like a disaster. This is a clusterfuck. This is not appealing to look at, and then to go through all these freaking menus to find, again, it's basically side quest instead of just giving it to you in the traditional way, which I think they realized. I think if and when we eventually get a Guild Wars 3, they will do a hybrid of this where we're going to have dynamic events that happen during the map or on the map, and then they will do traditional questing for important stuff. But the dynamic event system, very cool. I love it. Now, Guild Wars 2, another thing that it added that was pretty unique is a dodge button. So everybody has the ability to dodge. You can see my dodge meter right here. Now we played SOTOR and we played FS14, and one of the things they really let you do is customize your UI. Guild Wars 2 kind of lacks in that department. It lets you tweak some things, but it's just not you can't just freely move things around, which is unfortunate. But this aesthetic here at least is very pretty as far as, again, has that same aesthetic, that style, that art style of that paintbrush, and it looks good. But yeah, wish you could customize it a little bit more. And again, after the prologue there, you're just kind of thrown into the world and you're like, okay, go play. Go figure out what to do. And one of the easiest things to do as a new player is just to do map completion. And so you can see Queensdale, this is the map we're on. We have 17 hearts, waypoints. You just want to unlock and check all these things off, and you'll get experience and you'll level up. And once we hit, I think, level 10, it'll then throw the next story quest at us. But this is the map, and it's huge. It's pretty big, and very like compact as far as what to do. A lot of the maps, it's all sectioned off, so you have different maps. And so if you go to, there are loading screens before or between every zone. I don't know why I bring that up every time. I think it's because like a lot of people, I guess, are used to or had the idea of like classic WoW where there were like no loading screens. Now there's loading screens here, which I don't mind. But this is what the continent, this is Tyria. And so the humans, they settled here, and then Ascalon over here. This place got sunk to the bottom of the sea. We'll learn why it's there now a little bit later on in the story. And then the humans that lived here, they built this giant ass freaking wall. And that kept all the char out, because the char got pushed all the way up to more of their homelands up here. But the Iron Legion, is it Iron Legion or Steel Legion? It's Iron Legion. Their home was here, so they are the ones who mainly got pushed out of Ascalon, at least in this territory. Anyways, the char eventually broke this wall. And once they did, they basically called down a magical nuke, which killed a lot of the humans in Ascalon. And so part of the story in Guild Wars 1 is you were taking a lot of the survivors and a lot of the population, and you're going across the Shiver Peaks to Kryta, because Kryta is still pretty strong. But when the char broke this wall, they not only started almost like a war campaign against Ascalon, they charged all the way to Kryta, which Kryta repelled them, and they charged all the way to Ore, which caused Ore to basically blow up and go to the bottom of the sea. So Kryta's the only ones who survived the Char invasion. Anyways, the humans of Ascalon, they fought here for a long, long-ass time. And they eventually got pushed all the way down to almost like a Helm's Deep-like location called Ebonhawk. And Ebonhawk still stands. We're going to be able to go there. One of my favorite like little city spots. And from Ebonhawk, they launch like camps and basically almost like a resistance across all the rest of Ascalon. But the Char have tried many, many times to defeat the humans here in Ebonhawk, but they can't. It's like almost like an impregnable fortress. And so a lot of the prequel books to Guild Wars 2 talk about the human-Char conflict, because from here, again, the humans were able to get allies from Kryta to basically teleport in, and they launched a lot of bloody campaigns and war to like win over the land. Unsuccessful, but again, they're almost at like a stalemate. Well, that's kind of the geopolitics for right now. Hello. Is this one of you guys? It has to be, because human female, and then you don't need armor in this game. I also got some mail. Special delivery. Thanks, ArenaNet. So if you have like the deluxe edition or whatever, you get some nice little goodies. We are going to avoid using some of my account bound stuff. Like for example, if I go to my equipment. It's not going to let me? You dirty dogs. I have legendary... Oh, okay. I have legendary weapons. You can't use those until you're level 80. So that's why they're not available to us now. But from here... Yeah. Fashion template. Got it. The wardrobe system in this game, all account bound, and it's pretty amazing. This is why they call it Fashion Wars, because there are so many different aesthetics and looks you can go for. If you have a style in mind of what you want your character to look like, there's a good chance it's here in Guild Wars 2. And so, on top of being able to change out your armor, they also have like directly an outfit system, which you get the full outfit. You really can't change too much about it. Maybe you can take off the head slot, but you basically get one style. And there's a lot of those as well. And some of them are pretty good looking. So a lot of choice as far as how you design your character. We're going to go ahead and just stay with our simple look here. And if you don't know what to do, they have these scouts.
The fields beyond Shaymore are Kryta's breadbasket. Since the Centaur attack, citizens are trying to rebuild their lives. But it's tough with bandits and dangerous wildlife roaming the area. Don't wait for an invitation. Jump in and help them.
So that's basically how you get to see where you need to go as far as for content. And really, you just go out there and do it. Now, this game does also have mounts. All these mounts here. And so you can call upon them if you have them. As a new player, you're not going to have a mount. So you're not going to have this luxury here. But we're not entirely new. We won't use it. But I think you actually get to rent a raptor mount somewhere. I'm not sure where. But so you do get like a taste of it. And so when you reach a heart location, it kind of gives you a brief description of what you need to do. And this is basically how they handle questing. Because you just do kind of like mundane task, quest-like task. We're fixing these corn stalks. You're just a little bit of a farmer. But you can see the bar is going up. And once the bar reaches full, we'll get a big chunk of experience. We'll get some currencies. And that's just generally what you do to level up. And they go pretty quick. At least here in the early game. And it's usually a variety of things. Like you'll have some things to interact with. You'll have some enemies that you can kill too. We're gonna kick up this dirt. Ooh. And we got our other ability. Oh, we leveled up again. Yes, level 3. And it tells you what's gonna come, what's up and coming. You probably should read these if you're a first-time player and learn kind of what the systems are throwing at you. To be honest, I'm the type of player that's just like, yeah, I'll just figure it out. But yeah, the bag system in this game. Important to get big bags because they throw a lot of materials at you. Oh yeah, the animations for the monsters in this game, top tier. Really, really well done. Especially with world bosses because they're the big enemies. And the way they're animated it's beautiful. There's a worm down. And there's as long as you tag an enemy, like if somebody else came to attack this, everybody gets credit as long as you tag it. This game is very community friendly. There's not a lot of friction. But for our abilities, on the left side here, this is where you're going to have your weapon abilities. And on the right side here, this is where you're going to have your utility abilities. And you unlock these, we'll unlock these in time as we level up. And eventually, why don't we have our, like right above this usually sits your profession skills, and they usually are bound to your F keys. I don't know when we get them, because we should be able to command our pet around. Like I said, it unlocks over time. But there, we completed the heart. We get a big chunk of experience there. Like, look at that. That was almost over half a level. And then we also get karma. Karma is what you spend at these heart vendors. So yeah, once you complete the heart, the person who's giving you the quest, essentially, they become a vendor themselves.
Nowadays, but we try.
And their currency, they don't actually use gold in this game, or silver. They use karma. So we can go ahead and get a worm tooth. And I have a karma is account bound. I have a lot of karma. This game throws so much karma at you that, yeah, I almost have 2 million. And that's not even a lot compared to some other players. But we got our worm tooth here. Give ourselves a little bit of vitality because there are a lot of stats in this game. And one of the beautiful things about Guild Wars 2 is the build craft. Tailor making your character to play exactly how you want them to play is it's almost like second to none to a lot of like MMOs. I guess World of Warcraft has a pretty good build craft system maybe, but anyways, Guild Wars 2 does it I think way better because eventually we're going to get these trait lines and there's a lot of different ones to choose between. Oh, we're so limited by being early game and not seeing all these tabs, but I guess it would be overwhelming. You can get an idea of all the skills we're going to get as far as our utility picks, right in this menu here. Now, when we were playing Final Fantasy XIV, we talked about like race, like specific skills, and how there really weren't any. In Guild Wars 2, though, every race has their own heal ability and their utility picks. So all humans get prayer to Duena here. Now, is it better than our regular heal? No. These are very much just flavor. So if we use it, you can see it's a nice little animation. I actually wish they would go back and buff all the racial abilities, but I don't think they're going to do that. Let's continue questing. Lana, you remember back in 2012 seeing so many players in the area? Yeah, this game is... I mean, we can see some players now. Somebody with a roller beetle. That's a really cool mount. This game is very much alive, by the way. There is no concern for the population or the longevity of the game. Guild Wars 2 has always been very profitable, very stable, and that's because they have a fantastic business model. There is no subscription fee. There is a store that you can buy gems, which is the currency, but you can also get gems by converting in-game gold to gems, and vice versa. You can convert gems into gold. This is just one of the best games to play, especially if you are on like a tight budget and you just want a game that you can invest into that has an open world. It's an MMO, so it's going to continue getting content. This is the game, y'all. This is the game. Because I love Final Fantasy XIV, but you're either stuck on the free trial, which is limited, or you're subscribing, which is, again, you're paying monthly. Which is nothing wrong with that, but Guild Wars 2's business model is, if I could like snap my fingers and have every MMO have the same business model, it'd be something like Guild Wars 2. Because a lot of companies get very, very greedy. We got level 4, so we unlocked our weapon skill 3. Banking, which we don't need to go into our bank. And then points of interest. These are basically just, points of interest that you go to, and then you're going to get experience. And our next level, we get our... Oh, no, okay. This is telling us that at level 5, we're going to get profession skills, fine equipment at level 6. But level 10, this is when our next personal story unlock is. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. Yeah, this is definitely... I think when people talk about what are the most popular MMORPGs, like what is out there on the market, they name off WoW, they name off Final Fantasy 14, and then usually next up is Guild Wars 2 or Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, I guess old school RuneScape. People really like RuneScape, like a lot. I look at it, and I think it looks a little too dated for me. I know that's kind of very superficial, but, you know, if you don't like the aesthetic of a game, it's like, maybe not for you. Yes, 12 tables. That's a good point too. There's no servers in this game. It's all a mega server. So everybody, oh, we're gonna get killed by an elemental. Let's try to do an Iron Man mode. We also got a third ability we'll talk about in a second, but yeah. This game has a mega server system, meaning you don't pick a server to go to. Everybody's on the same one, so it's really easy to team up with your friends. And so if a zone gets overpopulated or, you know, reaches capacity, the wizards at ArenaNet have it so the servers just spin up another instance, and then it'll also close instances if there's like not enough people there, and then they want to merge the servers. It's very fluid, very dynamic. It is almost like that next level tech, again, for an MMORPG. This is why when I say Guild Wars 2 really is moving the needle forward for the genre, I really mean it. And that's why I have so much faith in ArenaNet when they eventually make a Guild Wars 3, that I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a great investment. It's gonna be a great game. And that's probably what they're working on in the background. They've made no official announcement, but it's definitely coming. And usually what they'll do is they will reward you in their next game for what you've done in the previous game. So you got a lot of unique rewards in Guild Wars 2 based on your achievements in Guild Wars 1. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just wait for Guild Wars 3. It's like, no. Spin up Guild Wars 2, start playing, and then you might get some goodies in Guild Wars 3 because of how much you invest in Guild Wars 2. And I've actually made a video talking about this, the fact that even if a Guild Wars 3 is announced and it's super well, it does super well and it's a lot of fun, there's no reason never not to go back to Guild Wars 2. This game plays fantastically. It's very unique. It's fun to play. So this will always be around and just a good time. Kind of like Guild Wars 1. Even though Guild Wars 1 receives updates recently, before that, we would go like 6 years without an update in Guild Wars 1, but people would still play it because the game they built is just a really like quality product. Yeah, this game also has, just almost like Final Fantasy 14, a very friendly community. Everybody's super nice here. Yeah, it is, Lana, you're right. It is, it's rare for a company to not kind of go down that slippery slope of greed and monetization. They've kept it very much in line with their, I would say, core values. So with points of interest, and you also have parts to look at, or to do, you also have these vistas. And so they play a little cinematic. You get to see the area. Kind of like what the humans have going on. They got this giant dam here. I love the human zone too. Very cozy. I'm a sucker for that traditional green lush starter zone. Kind of make it feel safe. But yeah, just going around adventuring. This is great. Oh, finally we got our profession abilities with our pet. So with our animal here, every other profession gets something else to do with their F abilities. We control our pet. And so our pet, we can send it to attack. We can call it back to us. We can put it in different stances. But I'm going to be honest, you really don't, I would say, micromanage your pet too much while you're leveling. Eventually we will unlock their F2 ability, and this will be their unique skill. So I think the Drake here will like spit out fire. That was a big guy. Oh, that was an event. I didn't even notice. Yes. While you have hearts, there's also the events that pop up. So even if you are, say you out-level this zone. I think this zone goes to like level 12. You can technically stay in this zone here the entire game. Go from level 1 to 80 in one map. Because of the dynamic event system where you'll go and these events will pop up. You do them. You're always going to get experience. This makes it really easy to play with if you have friends, guildmates, whatever. and you're like much higher level than them, you can come here. You're going to be scaled down. You're still going to be extremely powerful, but you're going to be, you know, within the ballpark. And you'll get experience. Really great, really friendly. Also, there's just a bunch of achievements you get. Mr. Butt King, how you doing, brother? My man. Butt King, you have Guild Wars 2. How's that been going? Oh, the Adventurers guy? Yeah, I'll take a look at that in a second because you get a crap ton of experience from that. Butt King, you're level 12? Hey, man. I know you're probably head down working, but if you want to come join along, I wouldn't mind the company. Maybe later. We're just doing our quest here. Just helping out as a ranger with our big-ass scaly Drake. He is something else, that is for sure. Oh, no rush, dude. Just hanging out. So the adventurers, again, buried within the achievement panel. If you're a new player, the character adventure guide. Doing these will give you so much experience. Kind of makes leveling a little bit of a joke. Because when the game initially launched, it was around, level 20 something, maybe 30, where it took a little bit to level. That's definitely where the time investment as far as between levels kicked off, as far as being like a grind. And I remember there was a map where there was this enemy in an event that would always spawn out of this little corridor, and everybody would just AFK there and basically just farm the event passively. And so I left my computer on a couple times and just left my character there while I went and did whatever. Come back, ooh, it's like 5 levels higher. Those were the days. But now leveling's super easy. Are we not getting any more spiders? There we go. And we got another level, and we get to pick a weapon. So as you're leveling up, yeah, you will get more equipment. Now the torch here, interesting choice. This is an offhand, which means we need a main hand weapon, which I don't think. Oh, we have a hatchet. Okay, but we also get a greatsword. Use greatsword. So we got the bow here. Longbow is really great. I think Ranger obviously uses it the best. So our abilities, we have like rapid fire. This adds on those vulnerability stacks. Vulnerabilities just makes the enemies take more damage. Very, very powerful debuff. Our hunter shot here, we hit them and then we go stealth. Little camouflage. And then this reprocs our opening strike, which we don't have access to yet. Or maybe we have to choose a trait that lets us do that. But this is a good ability there. And then our point blank shot, this will just knock back people. Sorry, dear. Oh. Drake killed it first. Good job, Drake. But the bow here, the longbow, really, really cool. Let's use a greatsword. And so all of the ranger abilities kind of have some sort of animal synergy. So you'll see with our greatsword 2 here, called Maul, we have like a bear spirit come up. And then we also have swoop. We have an eagle. And then I don't know if counterattack has anything. But a lot of cool animations. Even if you're a ranger, yeah, you get some badass weapons. Did we finish the achievement over here? I got too distracted. No, we didn't. So we can swoop on over. And so having the greatsword is actually pretty handy in the beginning here because of the mobility that it affords us. There we go. Fellow adventurer. That's a Solvari there. I don't know what they're doing. He is the best ugly boy. I'm not falling in love with him. We're going to get rid of him. Sorry. Hi, I like pie. So she'll buff us if now that we've beaten her or completed her quest. We also get a spoon. Selling junk is always something to do. Your inventory will get very crowded very quickly. This game also has like inventory management to another level. They throw so much crap at you. But we have 2 accessories, so we put our measuring spoon there. Ah. What kind of ranger are we going to be? So there's a few different kind of specs you go into, or roles as far as a character, because you'll notice we didn't choose anything like a tank, healer, or DPS. And that's because Guild Wars 2 is very fluid with its roles. Now, are there roles in the game? Yes. The community has kind of dictated what to kind of play your character into. So there is power, which is just raw damage. There is condition damage, which, you do things like bleeding, poison, a lot of dots. And then there's healing as well, because eventually you become a really good healer, and you got to manipulate your stats here in a certain way to get that. And then there are some really, really important buffs that make your party like 10 times more powerful. And those buffs are alacrity and quickness. Are like the biggest buffs that you want to have spamming, essentially. Have the 100% uptime. There are other buffs like might and fury, but those are pretty... Everybody has a lot of accessibility to those. Those aren't super important to build into. They're easy to obtain. But that alacrity and quickness, those are hard to come by, especially if you are solo. Which, we are adventuring around. Now, if we're doing a world boss, we're probably going to get all those buffs just passively. And that's kind of a problem with Guild Wars 2, is how easily they give you all those boons. They're called boons. And how easily you can spam them. And really, if they ever do like a big balance pass, they really, I think, would need to focus on consolidating the boons to certain specializations or builds to make them feel more unique. Because right now there's so many builds that can do every single boon, and it's super easy. And again, this is only for group play. For solo play and 90% of the content, you can do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about more so for raids and higher end content. Oh, look at the little Moa chick. This is a pet that we can get. I'm seeing if we can tame any of them over here. I don't think so. Let's do the quest. What else did we just get? Okay, so we got equipment pieces here. We can get a hood. Here we go. Well, actually, it's not a hood, it's a mask. Put that on. So there's this other button up here. Deposit all materials. Any raw material will go to your storage. This game has a heavy emphasis on crafting, gathering, and it's important to basically collect as many materials as you can. And we also have this hatchet. I want to use hatchet. When do we unlock our secondary being able to swap weapons? I think that happens at level 11, maybe? Oh, yeah. You're right, 12. Stability. Stability is another really important one. I didn't think of stability because I play a Guardian, and we have such... We are like, we spam... It's called stab, but we spam stability all the time. So I never really think about it. Maybe that's why Guardians are considered like 1 difficulty, because we get a lot of the good boons and we can spam the heck out of them with very little effort. Suspicious bush, well, another little Moa. This is a cool little cave here. It's a bandit den. Every race has their almost like evil faction. So humans, it's the bandits. And they have their own little camp set up. We'll deal with the bandits in the story. But even though Guild Wars 2, it's not gonna like, they don't have like a hot bar that's gonna get bloated. Every ability here is pretty impactful as far as what it does. So we have our counter here. Hit us. No, he's aiming at our pet. You can also just stow your pet. So if you don't want to fight with your animal companion, which doesn't make any sense because your animal companion helps you out a lot, but for the purposes of showing off counter here, There's a lot of reactivity in this game. Aha! And then that lets us kick. Oh, our pet just comes out anyways. But there's a lot of counterplay in this game. A lot of reactivity you can do. Again, more on the action combat side. Now, what are they good at? What are rangers good at? They're good at condition damage. They're good at power damage. I'm thinking about making a quickness build. We can actually build in the quickness. I don't think it's any sort of meta, but it's possible. And quickness just makes you attack faster and lets your weapon skills on this side, their cooldowns are shorter. Quickness feels amazing to play with. Once you get quickness and then you go back to your normal attacks, you're like, damn, I'm so slow. What are we getting here? Put on my gloves. What level are we? We are level 7. Okay. So three more levels. Completed this quest. Let's go, or this art. Let's go back and turn that shit in. Yeah, Herald Revenant, also very good at spamming boons. Yeah, they did just have a balance patch where they essentially nerfed everybody's damage. So they brought everybody down, which is it's necessary if you're gonna nerf one spec or one profession, you gotta nerf everybody else. At least if they're like within the same like threshold of damage. What do you got for us, Casey? You have a Moa collar, which is gonna give us healing. Oh yeah, one of you just mentioned. Rangers are really good at healing. With the Druid spec. I hate Druid in this game. Sorry, I don't like Druid, but it is an amazing healer. Really busted. It was actually the first dedicated healer in the game. Let's sell all our crap. We don't need this. We don't need this. So another big component of the game is actually breaking down your equipment or salvaging them. So I have the silver-fed salvo-o-matic here. Any item that can be salvaged, I can just do it right here. I don't have to use a salvage kit. But this costs money every time I use it. And when you buy a salvage kit, it only has so many charges, and then you have to buy another one. So this kind of a little bit of a gold sink for the economy, but you're never going to have an issue with it. There's also a daily system called the Wizard's Vault. I don't think you get this unless you have Secrets of the Obscure, which is a one of the later expansions. But yeah, they have a daily system. This is kind of the thing to do if you are just logging on and you're like, I only have like an hour or 30 minutes to play. Come on, do your daily. You're going to get this currency here that you spend in the rewards shop here. And some of it is pretty damn good. I already got all the major, I would say, heavy hitters. But this is something as a new player you don't need to worry about. Let's go back over here. Kind of clearing out the map. So we did this whole section here in Shamor Fields. Let's go up here. Eventually we'll get some utility picks that'll help us move a little bit quicker. Unless we want to use our mount, which no, we're going to enjoy the scenery. I love this this area here. You can actually go inside that windmill. Because one of the things I complain about with Guild Wars 2, or I don't complain, but one of the negatives I think are interiors. I don't think Guild Wars 2 does interiors that great, but some of them are nice. I wish they did more interiors like this. But this is like the exception. But just little doodads. There's really no purpose to go in here. I think there's some quest, or maybe there's a story that involves in here. Let's go out. If I'm not lost. It gets very claustrophobic. Yeah, I'm thinking we need to... Ooh, there's an event right there. Oh, they killed it. Damn it. The giant worm sprouted out of the ground. Events will... You'll see like a big-ass giant circle, and that'll let you know there's an event. And then over here on the right side, it'll also say, you know, complete the event that has popped up. But yeah, I like how they, you know, this is their fields where they get all their food. They have like an irrigation system to water everything. Moving around with our 3. But yeah, Guild Wars 2 does open world and the environment really well. Very, very pleasing to look at. Some more bandits. Hello. How about my bear hit? I also noticed, so this wasn't the same with the bow, with the longbow. The longbow is you just press 1 and you shoot your bow. But with our greatsword here, we will actually rotate between 3 different skills as we're swinging. I mentioned this in Final Fantasy XIV, but they essentially have a 1, 2, 3 combo that you have to press, the 1, 2, 3. But in the next expansion, they're consolidating it to 1 button press that'll change as you go through the rotation. Guild Wars 2 already has that, so that helps out with button bloat. And there is a joke in the community, but essentially, if you're not doing any sort of like serious content or hard content that's group focused, you can just sit there and press 1. You'll get full credit. Whatever you're fighting will die, and so it's easy. Guild Wars 2 is very much a casual game, but I say that with a lot of love. I haven't tested out the nerfs from the most recent patch. I was Guardian, so like my damage wasn't the best anyways. But I'm guessing a lot of people aren't happy with being nerfed. Nobody likes being nerfed, let's be honest. Move our window here. I like that. Also, the chat is very lively. And there are these things called commander tags, if there's any on the map. But they're players who can put an icon on over them that'll show up on the map. And it's basically a way of letting everybody know, hey, come to where I am, we're doing something big. And it's very, very open. You don't have to say anything to anybody. You can literally just go to where the marker is and get credit. So if you're somebody like, I don't like multiplayer games, or I don't want to be social, you don't have to. We're going to go down here and just move our way along. Get these bandits out of here. Trying to look for some other pets we can tame. Ooh, let's go to this other marker here. This is a hero point. But also, this is where we were in the intro. Everything's been cleaned up a little bit. Looks a lot nicer. Now that we've kicked out the stinky horse people. Yeah, there is a serious meta scene with Guild Wars 2 as far as pumping out damage and numbers. It can get pretty nutty at times. My only thing is, I wish because they added basically a group finder for raid-like content. My only thing is, maybe those bosses should have been nerfed a little bit, because if everybody's getting like a 15% damage nerf, that's huge. That's a big number. So bringing down the boss's health, like 5%, something like that, maybe would have been appropriate. I don't know. Let's go up here. There's a vista. Now, what's actually cool is, that's a prison cell over there, and there's some centaur in there. The centaurs will actually stage a rescue for the prisoners there, where they'll free them. But that's a dynamic event, so you kind of got to wait around for it or just stumble upon it. So that's something that's really cool about the dynamic event system, is how it kind of shapes certain areas. Like, you can lose access to some towns or forts because they get overrun, and you got to fight and free them. Makes the maps feel alive and fluid. What is this telling us to do? Kill centaurs, destroy centaur siege, weapons, help fallen seraph. Yeah, we can do that. And you'll see some seraph out here. They're basically like the main army for Kryta. Because Kryta has three military factions. You have the seraph, which are like the general military. You have the Shining Blade, which are like the secret service for the royalty, the crown. And then you have the... I want to call them the Imperial Guard, but that's not right. What are they called? They protect the council, like the nobles. They have a specific name. We'll see them later on. And they all don't work together, essentially. They all kind of like run their own affairs, and sometimes they butt heads. Oh yeah, those nerfs did affect in PvP. Yeah, once you hit level 80, max level, there's no more leveling. And that's when you start the horizontal level progression. But we'll get there in time. But it's things like mounts, the mount system, you get a glider, which I think we have now, and that system is all account wide. Grabbing these trinkets here. Oh, we got a sword. Sometimes the environment gives you some weapons. Not anything great, but you can also see some of the conditions there. So this will inflict bleeding, poison, and weakness. Oh, because it's rusty. Oh, and it got destroyed. Okay. Let's go ahead and res our NPC friend here. This is part of the quest. Or the heart. Ooh, reviving allies. It's part of the adventure journey. Okay. Good. Some more lost trinkets. This should do it for us.
Welcome to Big Time.
There we go.
Population me.
Oh, population me. Oh. Completely forgot. This game has underwater combat. Now, out of any game, I think this game does underwater combat the best. That being said, freaking hate underwater combat in general. So, not something I ever look forward to doing, but again, Guild Wars 2 probably does it the best that it can be. This is a hero challenge. These will give us hero points to spend on our talent trees, essentially. And for this one, you'll have to do some minor different things between these challenge points here, but this one is just a place of power. We would just have to channel without being interrupted. And then we get a point. And a bunch of experience, too. And there's also a waypoint down here. Let's grab this. So waypoints, just like kind of what they sound like, they're like instant teleportation. You just click on it and you just instantly go there. There's a small currency fee with it. Now waypoints in the early game or the base game, they're everywhere. Teleporting is kind of just the way to go as the game kind of develops and goes on. Waypoints get like more and more scarce, and that's because we eventually get mounts, which helps us, traverse the environments in a more, immersive way than just teleporting all the time. Yeah, underwater combat, kind of rough. What do we do here? I see rats. Yeah, we gotta kill some rats. I love that shit. Die, rat. Get him. This never gets old. What is this documents for? Okay, I guess we'll put those back together. This is a nice little outpost here. There's also little, again, more cosmetic things where you can get your own chair, and I didn't realize that you have a wolf with that chair. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need to get that eventually. Also, there's a trading post guy right out here, and the trading post in this game, huge part of it. Economy is one of the most important things about Guild Wars 2. But they have their in-game store. Honestly, navigating this, it used to be fine, but over time they've just added more and more things, and I just don't think this is as efficient as it could be. But so good luck if you're looking through that. Put our big ass greatsword back. We'll go this way because I think this is where the heart has more things for us to do.
Can't wait.
There's a cool mount. Damn, that looked good. That is probably one of the biggest money makers in the game is mount skins. Which is just strictly cosmetic, but man, it is probably a big big money maker. Ooh. Lana, Super Adventure Box. Yeah, I like me some super... There's a festival going on. Guild Wars 2 does some of the best festivals in, like, gaming. But the one going on right now is called Super Adventure Box. And it adds a game within the game that has a completely different aesthetic. It has, like, this pixel art. It very much is almost like a Zelda game where you have, like, heart blips, so your health goes away. Instead, you have actual hearts, like back in Zelda. Very cool. Really shows off what this team, what ArenaNet can do with this engine, which is amazing. When the Super Adventure Box first came out, I was like, holy shit. They can do anything they want with this engine. Over time, that's not true, but Super Adventure Box is amazing. And the way they justify it in the lore is, of course, like, I think it's like a virtual world that the Asura created. And it's literally called the Super Adventure Box, so I think you just go inside the box. I think it's complete now, right? They finished all of Super Adventure Box because it had World 1, World 2, and then it kind of went on hiatus for a long time. And now they finished World 3. I could be wrong. Yeah, syrup. That's what I was talking about earlier with the Asura and their technology. A lot of it's one-off. The Super Adventure Box, that's like a one-off piece of technology. Yeah, we finished the quest. Let's go see what we can get from the vendor. Because we could also change up our weapon. We have a hatchet, but I want an offhand with it as well. Oh, sorry, wolf. I like wolves. Oh, there's also minions in this game. Hang on. Or pets. Where is ours? Miniatures. There's only one miniature that is worthwhile, and everybody knows it. It is... Ah, here it is. Salsun Casimir. This is one of the characters that show up, but... Ah, look at her in all her... her bikini glory. Oh, where did she get put out? There you go. Yes, you can have little miniatures that follow you around. This is one of the one of the NPC characters that we eventually like kind of joins our party. She's a fan favorite. She's actually one of the she's a really well developed character as far as her story. Really like Casimir. But no, that wasn't the actual mini that I wanted. Where is our German Shepherd? Our best doggo. You can favorite these to make them easy to find, but on a new character, it kind of wipes your favorites. So you gotta go, there it is. There we go, add to our favorite, and now it'll show up at the top every time. But, where is it? There you are, look at that. Yes, the best puppy. It's like the only miniature that I actually care about getting. World 3 is not finished yet? Okay. So they're still working on it.
Let's see the color of your coin.
Let's see the color of your coin. Well, you take the currency of karma, so I think you'll be happy with this. Rare Ascalonian coin. Well, we're going to take that. And then boots. We want some boots. Now we're getting like armor with like condition damage stats. Again, early game here. It doesn't matter. Sell any trash we have. And we have to, because we are so early in the game, we kind of have to stay on top of our inventory unless we want to go buy some bags. But honestly, as a new player, you're probably going to struggle with your inventory a little bit. You're going to spend some time sitting here going, okay, what do I need to get rid of? Let's sell these. And that's pretty good. Get rid of these masks. We can't salvage them. We can't sell them. Then we're gonna throw them away. And we're level 8. Let's head this way because, well, there's more stuff to do over there as well. Let's head this way. And level 11. Okay, we get we get our first utility spell, which is going to be awesome. A little bit of lag there. When do we get weapon swapping? Because now you can kind of see here all the weapons we have available to us. So hammer, short bow, main hand using an axe, and we have an offhand version of it as well. Daggers, greatsword, mace, staff, horns, torches, a lot of weapon variety. They recently added spears to the game because for the longest time you could not use a spear on the above water. They had harpoons for just water combat, but everybody was like, we need some land spears, because in Guild Wars 1 they had the Paragon, which used a technically a javelin because they would throw it, but again, we had that weapon in the first game and everybody was waiting for it to come to this game. Also, gathering materials. I don't think we have a hatchet. No, we don't. But yeah, you see stuff out there, or you get the mining, the lumber axe. Gathering stuff gives you experience. Basically, anything you interact with in the open world is going to give you experience. Make it really smooth to level. Those materials, you're just going to want to bank up, either to sell them in bulk or to do your own crafting. You think switching weapons is at level 10? Okay. I think you're right. Okay, whew. We were just talking about all the crafting materials. So while you level up at level 9, they give you a axe, sickle, and a pick. Pick is obviously going to be for ore. Harvesting sickle, this is for like vegetables and like fruit, or I guess fruit. Yeah, fruit? Yeah, you get strawberries. So yeah, fruit. And then the axe for trees. There's some other things we got, but let's grab this. There's also another hero point over there. Let's go. We're gonna go get that. Ooh, never mind. Event. This was what I was talking about earlier, where it shows up as a big orange circle, kind of lets you know what to do, where we just need to protect the ranchers from the bandits, and the bandits will come in from yonder, and this kind of tells everybody in the area, come together. Damn, they're pretty tough. Having a ranged weapon, really handy for starting combat, because we gotta run up to everybody with our greatsword here. We also unlocked our last greatsword ability, which is our boom. It's an interrupt and a stun, really powerful. And there's also, you'll see what else is this hilt bash does is Defiance Break. We haven't encountered anything that has a Defiance bar, but that is a really important system when it comes to buildcraft and having enough Defiance Break for bosses or enemies. It's basically like the ability to break a CC bar. So enemies will be charging up with a really powerful attack, their bar, as long as you deplete it while they're doing it, will stun them out of that, and then usually make them vulnerable to just wailing on them and doing a lot of damage. But Defiance bars are very important to have some sort of Defiance break in your kit. So we have a little bit of it right here with our greatsword, which makes this a really good weapon because it has mobility, it has a Defiance break, and then it has a way to build up vulnerability stacks, and then it's just powerful overall. Let's go to this bandit loot. Also, somebody put some food out in the open world. We can go ahead and eat that, and we get this buff. So this one isn't like a point of a place of power where we channel. Instead, when we interact with it, these bandits are going to come out at us almost like a little event, but we got to defeat them, which is no problem for our Drake. He's doing a charge up. We stop that. Huh, this is one of the great parts about being a ranger. They just love hitting our pet. Down he goes. So we beat that. Almost counts like a little event. We get the experience, but more importantly, we get the hero point, which we will use those. When do those become available to us? At 21. Okay. No, level 11. Level 11 is when those become available to us, so 2 levels. And then you can start investing your points. Sir, oh, you can name your pet too. Also, the pet management screen here kind of lets you see how many pets are in the game. So if you're like your little your Pokemon fan, gotta collect them all. Kind of lets you know. They don't really let you know where they are, but they say, hey, you have all these. The gray ones, obviously, you don't have. Yeah, you can name your pets, and this will stay even if we stow him and we have 2 other pets, because you get 2 pets that you can swap between, kind of like weapons. Whatever you name them stays. Mr. Krusty. Or Sir Krusty, you're right. I like to be fancy, so I spell Sir that way. There we go. So now we got Sir Krusty here. Stop moving, Sir Krusty. Come here. Unfortunately, I don't think we can pet them. No, it's not a command. Unfortunate. Yeah, that page that gets you excited if you're a pet collector, the dopamine starts firing. Go to this town over here. And what I like about Guild Wars 2, a lot of the open world maps, they have settlements and peaceful areas within every map. I hate maps that are just completely like overrun or just everything you gotta kill. I like places that are actually like semi-safe. People live out here. They have walls that make sense. They have their own little town. I think that's cool. So this heart here, it's a little different than all the other ones, where you actually can do some training exercises to complete the quest.
Show these whelps how it's
So
done.
grabbing a shield.
Pick up a shield and get in there.
This is just test your reaction. Ooh, we got it. So we got a little bit there. And he'll go through, hit the recruits, and I just have to wait till he swings for me. Oh, it should be the next one. Yep.
Good.
Yeah. So this is a cool one.
Again.
That's probably the easiest. And then you got rifles as well.
Remember, don't release your shot until the order is given.
Aye, aye, Captain. Hold. I'm literally holding the 1 key down. So you gotta, you just don't press your buttons. You hold them as well. That one's easy.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's keep at it.
Aye, aye. And these are cool rifles.
Game.
So there are guns in the game. Oh yeah, looking good.
Fire.
That one's fun. And then there's this one over here.
Pick up a training sword.
Pick up a sword, and you gotta wait till they lower their guard to hit them. This one actually sucks. this one's hard.
Take aim.
Come on, put that shield down. Yeah. And if we spammed it again right now, she would block.
Fire.
Yeah, Deadeyes are very much the sniper, and that's kind of how they play, where they're kind of always in a crouch position. Oh shit, I pressed the wrong button. Let's go back to the other one. This guy looks sick, by the way. Look at that armor.
Wouldn't want anyone getting hurt.
That's like a higher tier seraph, because most seraphs just kind of look like this, but the officers, they get that full freaking armor. That's sick looking. That's really cool. Same with this dude here. If we were wearing heavy armor, I'd go for a look like that. Let's go back to this shield one.
That's how it's done. Pick up a shield and get in there.
Come at me, bro. My reaction time is amazing.
Game.
Can't touch this. Ooh.
That's how you block an attack. Again.
Oh, I pressed it again. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. I was on cooldown. Yeah. Should take a few more times. I was clicking her because I thought she was the seraph that was at the beginning. Yo, we hit our follower. Oh, fuck. This distracted me. We hit our follower goal on Twitch. Thanks, guys. You guys are distracting me. I'm better than this. You can't hit me. The idea is you want to like kind of step back from him, so when he's going to commit to you, you can kind of see it from a mile away. focusing, we're focusing, we're focusing. We're locked in. Come at me. Ooh, got it. Woohoo! Let's get out of here. Let's see what you got for us. Ooh, we get a short sword and we get a rifle. As a ranger, we can't use a rifle or a shield. That's interesting. I wonder if they're ever going to give ranger a shield. But we do get a sword, and it's healing power. it's not great. Nah, we're gonna keep our greatsword. Deadeye is the best single target damage in the game. Really? That's interesting. I'm somewhat in the loop with which specs are really good. I thought Evoker was like crazy good. Oh, we have a glider, by the way. So there's some movement options here. Not so important in the base Guild Wars 2 maps because everything's pretty level. But eventually they're gonna do a lot of level height differences to where having a glider is going to be really important to get around. But just a traversal tool for us. And we should, once we complete this heart, we should be set for the next story. Breaking all your supplies. You don't belong here. Also, there is cleave damage. So we swing our sword, even if we're just aiming at the one, anything in front of us is gonna get hit. Ooh, some herbs. We'll take our sickle out. We'll gather all this. Some copper. Why not? Think. I think the last time I played Deadeye was when they were still very stationary. Because Deadeye used to be, you had to sit there and crouch between like two stances. Like you had your sniper stance and then you could kind of roam around on a more mobile version, but you didn't hit as hard. And I think they changed that, right? So instead of being completely stationary, you're just kind of slower now. You just move at a slower pace. Breaking all these centaur supplies. It just feels natural to be a ranger out here, because this is what a ranger would be doing, out protecting like the borders. There we go. So you hit level 10, and then you get some mail. This lets you know that hey, time to get back to the story. Now before, when the game first launched, there was no level. You weren't locked out of going to your next story instance ever. So you could do the prologue and then just go directly into your story mission. And this was actually an extremely lucrative way to get something called a Black Lion key. And so you just farm these Black Lion keys by making a character, rushing the story to a very early point, deleting that character, and then doing it again. And these Black Lion chests, they're kind of like loot boxes, where they can give you some really unique things that have to do with the in-game store. And I guess Arena they didn't like that. They didn't like you being able to farm those. So yeah, they nerfed the hell out of it. But I remember the day I would do that. I'd be like, I'm gonna go get some keys today. We got some boots that they're giving us. This vendor actually had a lot of good gear for us. Because we could get a horn. Horn is pretty good on Ranger, so is mace. And then what is this? Precision. Yeah, this is better. Kind of took the wrong one. Equipment, and then... Ooh, power's good too. We don't have a ring, we don't have an amulet, we don't have a back slot. That's good enough. Let's go do the story. And the nice thing is, we can just teleport back to Shaymore. Oh, we haven't gone inside the city. All right. Dan, see you later, brother. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back at Guild Wars 2 on Thursday. We're going to be playing Guild Wars 2 all week. It's going to be a good time. Love this game. Especially as the story starts moving along. We're on an adventure. So going into the city between maps, you got the big old rift here letting you know, hey, about to go into a loading screen. So this is Divinity's Reach. This is the human capital, one of my favorite cities. And it has its own points of interest, waypoints, vistas as well. So by exploring the entire city, you get experience, you can level up. And when you do 100% in an area, you get a little bonus as well. So it makes sense to 100% maps. Also, there's a char here. This is a human city. The human-char relations are, at the beginning of the game, very much on thin ice. We've agreed to basically a ceasefire and to work together. But we don't like each other. Because the char and the humans have been at war for a very, very, very long time. Also, this is like a very popular spot to hang out. This is my spot of choice. I didn't know they had a whole piano. Interesting. But this is a great spot because you have a waypoint right there. You have your bank where you can go and stash all your crap. This is my bank. Ooh, I have some extra bag slots just sitting here. Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to take them. I did not prepare for this at all. I don't know why I have these in here. But right now, that's why. But yeah, you have your bank. This is all your items that you can stash in there. And then your materials. Lots and lots of materials in this game. And there's a spot for all of it. This is going to look very full. But yeah, that's why this is a good spot. And then on the other side is the market. So you can easily go between the market and your bank. In a very close area here. So this spot's great. Let's equip some of these bags. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. Yes. I don't know why I'm saving on to these things. These were like bonuses for like the deluxe edition when you first got the game. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But this is like the big palace garden area. It's very nice. And it's a big ass, Divinity's Reach is a big ass circle. So you have like each district and they kind of represent the humans overall. Like the Austin Quarter here, these are the Elonians, Elonian refugees. Again, Divinity's Reach Kryta, kind of a melting pot. The Salma district, very much for the Crichtons, aesthetically. Oop, getting a call. Give me 1 second, y'all. Whew, okay, we're back. Sorry about that. That's right, Lonnie. You're on the is it there, do they have a French server, or is it just like thrown into the like Europe server section? Where do you guys usually hang out? I guess in your side. I completely forgot that there's, you know, people have different hangout spots. But Divinity's Reach has always been kind of a popular one. We'll go over here real quick. Grab this waypoint while we're here. Also, while we're in the city, you get a movement buff. You might need a horizontal progression. It's called the... Let's see if we even have access to it. The Mastery System. This is basically endgame progression, but it's very horizontal. Some of it is like a power bump as far as convenience, but you don't worry about this until, again, you're level 80. Not a big deal when you're leveling up. But let's see here. But yeah, each section, I think that's what we were talking about, has their own unique flavor as far as their humans. So Ruokten here, Ruokten, this is Ascalonian themed. They had a prince, Prince Ruok. He's the one who led their people from Ascalon to Kryta. Unfortunately, he didn't make the journey. He died in the Shiver Peaks, and his betrothed died to the Char when they broke the wall down. But why do I bring that up? In Guild Wars 1, her ghost hangs out in Ascalon still, and they recently just added an update where you can recruit her ghost to be a hero companion to follow you throughout every game. Used to be a French server, now it's a European server. Where do you guys hang out at? As far as where does the community usually like congregate? And I think like if you're ArenaNet partner, you get to transfer between regions, I think for free or something like that. I mean, like what locations in Guild Wars 2 do you do people usually hang out in? Also, the Salma district, this is kind of like your home instance. It's not like housing, but it's like an area that you're not really supposed to go to in the map as like a public area. It's an instance little section of the map, but if you just climb over, you can just climb over the wall. They used to invisible barrier the shit out of this place because they didn't want people coming in here, but if you have a flying mount, they eventually got rid of the invisible walls, and so you can come back here and explore. There's nothing here as far as NPCs or anything. Actually, no, there are some NPCs. Huh. But there's no way to get here unless you have a flying mount or gliding. It's supposed to be sectioned off. Radisum, of course that's where you'd hang out. I knew it. Okay, I just didn't know if people hung out at a different spot. Usually it's like Lion's Arch and Divinity's Reach, just because, again, bank, trading post, all very, very close together. There's a section we can't go into. This is locked out for the story. All right, we grabbed those. Let's go to the story instance now. Oh, there's also I think there's an update today for the game. Lion's Arch. We'll talk a lot about Lion's Arch when we get there. I miss the old Lion's Arch. That was my favorite. But let us continue our story. And thankfully, story instances, they give you a big chunky amount of experience. Yeah, all this early stuff you can't really break down, which is unfortunate. We'll just throw it away. And we'll head in here. Yeah, Old Lion's Arch. We'll talk about a little bit about it now, but Old Lion's Arch with that pirate theme. And again, that was very much part of the books as well. Talking about how all the pirates came together to basically restore Lion's Arch. Ooh, Lord Farron, our good friend.
Ah, the hero of Shaymore returns. Come and see how friends and neighbors alike have turned out to welcome you home.
A party, Farron? For me? Or is this just an excuse to get your friends together and see what's in my wine cupboard?
Nonsense.
Oh, nobility.
Heroes are always popular. These nice people simply insisted on congratulating you and celebrating your brave victory.
And you insisted on breaking out my finest food and drink for the occasion.
You deserve no less. Still, I can't take all the credit. Your household staff was most helpful, even eager to facilitate the process. I wish my servants loved me half as much. But then, I am lovable in other ways.
And the less said about that, the better. Now, wipe off that smirk and let's go enjoy my best roast duck and brandy.
Damn, we're fancy as hell. Lord Farron, he's a great character. He will be constantly showing up in the story. Oh yeah, we got our RP walk. So yeah, we live with high society here, but remember, everybody doesn't like Sir Krusty. Where is he? There he is. He's on his best behavior, though. Keep an eye on him, but not really. But yeah, this is a nice little area.
The guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the hero of come one, come all, and prepare to be amazed.
Ooh. Go on. So this is, like story-wise, this is technically our house. We can't go in there now, but later on it opens up. You can't decorate it or anything, but it does have stuff inside. Okay, we can go in the, there's a back entrance. I'm not remember. Okay, yeah. This door's locked too. But it's a cool hangout spot. And everybody's calling us the hero of Shaymore. Kind of just the default term that the NPCs are going to refer to us, because obviously they're not going to all list out what our real name is. And honestly, a lot of the NPCs that we can talk to, they will show up later. So a lot of again, a lot of work went into adding these characters, and certain ones, just talk to her a little bit. Anyways, certain ones will show up later, and you'll be able to recognize them. But Lord Farron, what do you got for us? Done with the festivities, old friend? Yes, I think I'm done. Typical humans. Yeah, we're just sitting around getting drunk. Lord Farron, what do you got for us?
Gods help us.
Oh, what the? Those bandits. So we got some highwaymen.
Take your hands off me, you scum! Help! Murder!
You're kidding, right?
Lord Farron, no! Our good old friend. Well, first let's murder these guys. Treachery is afoot. Okay, we dealt with them. Lord Farron went over here. Let's go rescue him. Some more bandits. Huh. There we go.
I heard Farron shouting. Where is he?
I saw those ruffians dragging him down the street. They're going to kill him.
Calm down. See to the other guests and make sure no one else has been harmed. I'll go after Lord Farron.
Yes, servant. Do my bidding while I go be a hero. And by be a hero, I mean I'm kind of lost. Let's go this way. Yeah, where are the Seraph? Where are the freaking guards? Take them out. We're just gonna chop our way through. There are pistols in this game too. A little bit of a modern technology. This whole area is infested with bandits. Not in my town. I pay my taxes.
You're kidding,
I'm pretty sure we gotta murder all of them to progress. Luckily, we cleave everybody down with our giant ass sword. This door here, I think we're gonna get knocked back. There we go.
You'll beg me for it.
Leveled up? Good. We can weapon swap now. Hang on, let's see. What do we have available to us? We have our hatchet. So there are tiers of enemies. So this is the first time we fought somebody that's the next tier, which is this like bronze border here. A little bit tougher. They have silver, they have gold, and then they have like a legendary. It's like purple with swords. So that kind of lets you know if somebody is tough or not. I also leveled up. You gonna give us any items though? No, that's unfortunate. Let's look through here, our hero panel. So this is what we're doing with our hero points. We have all these different skill lines we can go down. These are your traits, which are not unlocked yet. I think we get them at 21. These are our utility skills, and they all have their own, almost like discipline, signets, traps, survival training, spirits. As a druid, we can mess with some nature spirits, and then command. This is with our pet. This makes our pet really strong as far as telling them things to do, and usually things that benefit your pet also then like reflect onto you, or you can build your character out to do, or in the trait line to have that synergy with your pet. So if they get a buff, you'll get a buff and stuff like that. So a lot of things we can do with the ranger. We will look at that once we save Farron. Sorry, Farron, we had to talk. That's a magical little chain on you.
Thank you. I'm feeling much better now.
You're welcome, Farron. Our good friend Farron.
Am I pleased to see you? Though if you wanted me to leave the party, a simple "begone, freeloader" would have sufficed.
I'll make a note of that. Any idea who these hooligans were or what they wanted?
Hooligans.
Not really.
I haven't heard that word in a while.
I did hear them discussing a farmhouse in Shaymore. They were going to lock me up there with the rest of their hostages.
Then I have more work to do. I can't save you and leave the others to rot. Bad form, you know.
Count me in. I may not be a centaur-killing berserker like you, but I can take care of myself. I'll meet you there.
Just the attitude of the nobles. This is great. Oh, they also gave you a bag in the story for completing this instance. And then we can easily just leave the story right here to the right. Now, some story instances, when they end, you can go and talk to the NPCs, get a little bit more lore, get to know the characters a little bit. Don't need to worry about that right now, though. And sometimes they have achievements tied to like talking to everybody. But we need to go back out to Queensdale, which was the starter map. Let's equip these gloves. Let's open these bags of loot. Ooh, we got an unidentified die. The die system in this game is crazy. If I can get to it. Here we go, dies. We have lots and lots of dies. And so the customization, again, in this game, pretty excellent. And all these dies, it's not like they're one-off uses. I can use this as many times as I want. There's no limit once you unlock them. Huh, we got an ugly glider. We'll fix that later. Bag-wise, we already had these 8 or 12 slot bags, so this 8 one, not very good. We're just gonna throw it away. We have a trident. Nothing useful. Let's look up our utility skills and kind of plan out what we want to do, which is this training. This whole panel here, I think it needs a little bit of a rework, but signet training. So a signet is something, it's like an item that you kind of hold on you, like a powerful artifact, where passively, this is going to give us plus 25% movement speed. So this skill is actually pretty good for just getting around. But if we activate it, our attacks become unblockable. That is more so for PvP. Oh, and we gain super speed, which means our character will just move very fast in combat. That could be nice. And it has a short cooldown, generally like 20 seconds is like the cooldown range for most abilities. We could go into traps. Traps are great. Thank you. But I think we're going to go into survival. Because survival, we get quickening Zephyr here, which is going to give us quickness. And I want to build into quickness. So let's just use Troll Ungent. That's a pretty good heal. And then we also get Sharpening Stone. It's going to add bleed to our attacks. A little bit more damage. Oh man, we have a lot of skill points. And then Lightning Reflex. This is a reaction ability, essentially. So if we're ever stun locked, or we need to get out of like an AoE circle, this will throw our character back. and break us out of any condition that's holding us down. This is pretty good. More again of a, I would say, a PvP move. You can actually show it off here. But this is pretty cool looking. A little bit like a lightning. Gets our boots all lightning juiced, and then we jump backwards. And it's a stun break. There are a lot of things in this game that will stun you or stop your character from moving. Having a stun break is huge. As far as like making a build, having stun breaks is important. Being able to break a defiance bar is also very important. Other than that, we also got our F2 for our Drake. Oh, he shoots lightning breath. But anyways, yeah, defiance break and then stun breaks. Those are two important things to build into just for every build. So kind of a universal thing to keep an eye on and make sure you have in some way or form with your kit. Even in the open world. Now this heal ability, we heal as one. This is a command. So this heals our pet, and then we gain a copy of each other's boons. This is pretty good. Troll Engine here, this just heals us a little bit over time. Kind of like a really juiced up regeneration heal. This is pretty good. They're both good. I'll just stay with heal as one. Eventually, when we get down to our traits, they will alter certain abilities. So this is a command utility skill. So we'll pick traits that synergize with commands, or we'll have traits that synergize with survival. So that's kind of how buildcraft can work in this game. So if we pick all of our survival skills, then obviously if we go down a trait line that does something with survival abilities, we're going to get that benefit from all the survival things that we put on our bar. And of course you can mix and match to your liking. But again, there's that buildcraft if you want it. Let's just go inside here real quick, grab some more waypoints while we're going through the city. I think we'll just grab the one waypoint over there and those two waypoints, and then we'll head back out. Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anything else we need. Can I salvage this? Yes. So my salvage kit there. Break that down. Break that down. Just break everything down and then deposit all. Goes to my bank. And then there's also these essence of luck. Ooh, do I want to talk about the luck system? Luck's weird. It will help you get higher grade materials. But building up luck is kind of a pain in the ass for new players. It's not something you really should be concerned about. It just happens kind of naturally. And also you get like a little bit more gold. We're talking like 1 to 5%, something like that. Very, very minor. Grab those two, and then we can head back out. Farmhouse in Queensdale. Luckily, it tells us exactly where it is, so we can just teleport to the closest waypoint. We'll do that. And then, unfortunately, we don't... Oh, we do. Let's equip this. There we go. So now we can swap between our hatchet and our greatsword. Now, when we're in combat, that was my phone, not yours. Okay, just looking at that. Now, when we are in combat, swapping between weapons, there's a cooldown, so you can't just spam swap. So that keeps that in mind. So we have our hatchet out, we swap, now we're on a 9-second cooldown to go back to our hatchet. There are going to be trait lines, abilities we can pick up that are going to shorten that cooldown, but something warriors are really good at is swapping weapons. They kind of have a way to reduce that cooldown that's like really easy. It's kind of their thing. Oof. Oh, I just bashed them. Swap our weapon. And the hatchet is like another ranged weapon. It's actually very powerful. But we have the normal throws. We can throw out 3 of them in a cone in front of us. Actually, there's like 5. And then we have one that adds chill, bleeding, a little bit of conditions. I love this loading art as well. There's some really cool ones. Let's see what's going on.
Time to make those louts pay for ruining your party. I've got my good sword, sensible shoes, and my fighting coiffure. What else do I need?
You're as ready as you'll ever be. Glad to have you with me, but do me a favor. Stay close. That way we can protect each other.
Don't worry about me. Swordmaster Bongo the One-Eyed told my parents I was the best student he'd ever seen.
That's a character we actually get to meet later. Bongo. But for here, we just need to go down to the basement. Looking around.
Are you sure it's safe here? We left a lot of wounded behind. They can talk.
They'll keep quiet. Everyone knows what we do to a snitch.
Snitches get stitches. Unless you're the hero. Time to do some ranger things. Send my pet in to grab all the aggro. I said, send my pet in. There you go. I was waiting for Sir Krusty to get in there.
You're kidding, right?
And then Farron will get in there too. We don't have to worry about him as an ally. Also, our hatchets, they will bounce between targets.
Teach you to kidnap your betters? Intruder, man the turret!
Throw that. So a nice little range option, not as long, or not as yeah, I guess long as a longbow would shoot, but good enough. Kind of a mid-range. Everybody at range.
My fine apparel. I'm sending you the cleaning bill.
It must be so demoralizing to lose to somebody like Lord Farron, because he's just shit-talking you the entire time. Where he's not taking the gravity of this situation seriously. They have a turret, they have a cannon over there, we're gonna kind of bun rush to this. Oh, we have lightning reflex on, we don't need this right now. I don't think there's gonna be too many knockbacks, and unfortunately, if we use it here, there's a good chance we're gonna throw ourselves off the edge. Just break all them down. Farron is funny. Farron's like, he's good comic relief. Sidekick. This guy's pretty tanky. Stun him. Chain gun Kelly.
I need your help.
Time to do some real damage.
Alright, let's free some prisoners.
Gods, what will we do now?
You're all trapped. At least you were. Now I'm here. Switching my ability to Sharpening Stone. Let's open this up. You're welcome.
The gods you came along.
And just this last one. There we go.
Thank you so much, both of you. I'll never forget this.
The captured
You're
servants.
still in danger. Gather the others and head down that tunnel. You can escape through the abandoned farmhouse.
And if you know any fair maidens, be sure to tell them who rescued you. The dashing Lord Farron. And his friend.
Just get yourself and the others to a safe place. That's all the thanks we need.
Speak for yourself, old chum.
Before I go, take these documents. I lifted them from the bandits when they were manhandling me. They mentioned some kind of leader in Divinity's Reach. Is that helpful?
It is indeed. Thank you. Now, please, go. We'll make sure you get out of here safely.
The Ministry Guard. That's the other human faction military component they have. So it's the Seraph, the Ministry Guard, and then the Shining Blade. The Ministry Guard basically protect the nobles. I was thinking Imperial Guard. I was like, that's not right. It's the Ministry. Defeat the pursuing bandits and escort the prisoners to safety. Well, I could do that. Come, everybody. And we're massacring everything. Because even though we're not using like any high level gear. Early game, kind of a joke. I mean, we're learning our abilities. Escape the farmhouse. Aye, aye. Oh, look, the Seraph are here. And the Seraph, they're led by
Captain Thackeray.
Captain Thackeray.
We've had the most marvelous adventure. My friend and I
Baron.
defeated these delinquents with panache and aplomb. You're just in time to celebrate our victory.
It's panache.
I'm amazed. And again, I should have known the hero of Shaymore wouldn't let your kidnapping go unanswered.
No one hurts my friends without answering to me. And look, we found this letter in the bandit cave. Someone in Divinity's Reach is pulling their strings.
No common thug would use such expensive parchment. There's a papermaker at the trading post named Sinfurserai. Terribly prickly man, but I bet he could identify the design.
Captain Thackeray, let me talk to the papermaker. I'll get the information you need without anyone realizing the Seraph are aware of the traitor in the city.
A solid plan. I'm grateful for the help, but be careful. Whoever's behind this plot is playing rough. I'll be waiting in the city to hear what you find. I'll try to keep fair enough.
It's kind of nice to have a almost like an authority figure,
Promises, though.
kind of like the police of the nation. Actually let us help and do stuff without being an asshole. I like Thackeray. He's a great character. A lot of great characters actually in this game. Wow, we get a lot of stuff, a lot of levels too. Let's check out the goods we got. Because I want to use a dagger. Oh, we can put it in our offhand. Yes. Now we got our dagger skills. We can throw a dagger and we kind of do it. Hey, I was busy there. Rude. Yeah, we can kind of do like a spin move with it too. Dagger offhand. I don't think it's particularly good. It's just fun to have if that's like your RP fantasy. You're like, oh yeah, my character uses a dagger. I'm gonna throw it. We're quite the character now. We're throwing hatchets out, daggers as well. Use our glider. So we gotta go back to Divinity's Reach. What else did we get? We got another mask. More stuff to deposit. And then they also give you a salvage kit, which same as this one here, except for this has charges. And just breaking everything down. Eventually this will run out. If you don't have a unlimited one, then yeah, you're just gonna have to keep buying those. And that's very much a system in Guild Wars 1 where they had you have identification kits and then salvage kits. So you get a magical item, you gotta identify it, and then you salvage it. It was a whole thing. They kind of leaned into it with this game too, but they also gave you a lot more bag space. Because in Guild Wars 1, oh, the bag space, that was true progression. Oh, look. You see those players there just hanging out. Yeah, people just hang out in this game. Very populated still. Very active. Kind of a game that... Oh, we're going over there. Kind of a game that... Again, it doesn't have seasonal content. So the entire game is always relevant. Which I think builds a healthier community. People don't feel like they need to rush to the end game. Because... There's a lot of game to enjoy. And even if you hit the end game, you'd still be doing stuff that is not level 80 or the max level to get some sort of, rewards or progression. This game is very well balanced, very casual, but just everything is viable. And that comes down to activities that we're doing, how you build out your character. Get this river drake, throw the hatchet. You know what? I want to get another pet. I want to get a wolf. We're going to go to Divinity's Reach. And they have a way for us to essentially go to the other races, their capital cities. Because we've just been in a human area. Human area is big. Everybody else has their starting location. And it's also huge. But we take this portal here. This takes us to pretty much the neutral ground for all the different nations. It's called Lion's Arch. Used to be run by pirates. It still is run by pirates, but they're more civilized. Oh, and we get this whole cutscene. They kind of changed. We'll see the old Lion's Arch, but they kind of changed this one to be more fantastical, more flowery, in my opinion. People call it like almost Disney, because you have these giant buildings that look like a squid, like a seashell. I don't like what they did to Lion's Arch. You'll see the original version, and it's just better across the board. Also, the movie cinematics like this, the trailers are always shot with like the lowest resolution, so they all look a little like grungy. Ah, the Marquis Elmdor. Yeah, we need to play some tactics. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. Always welcome the tactics fan. The fan base. Yeah, we'll do a quick little account tour of my overall account before we are like wrapping up. Not right now, but you'll see a lot of my character names are Final Fantasy Tactics based. Like I have Delita. I have his name in this game. It was like the first one that I grabbed. I'm grabbing Delita. And he's usually the only one that I go for. But anyways, yeah, we can run through here. We just actually technically, when you first come to Lion's Arch, yeah, you get shot out over there, but you're supposed to come out through your gate. So this is the one we technically took. So we should come out here next time. But yeah, we can go to all the different races. Salsun Cove, I don't want to talk about that one. Holbrook, though. This is the Norn's land. We're going to go there first. But the Asura, they're the ones who kind of mass produce these gates, and they maintain them. We're going to Holbrook, kind of show where this is in the map and see how far we've gone. So if we zoom out, we're all the way over here. So we went from here, bounced down to here, now we're here. The Char, they are here. Salvari, they are down here, and then the Asura, they're right here. So that was the base map. It like started here and then went all the way over here and then like down like this box. And then from there we've expanded quite a lot. Yes, the Asura invented fast travel. Okay, but why are we here? Well, I'm here to get me a wolf. A woof. So this is kind of, I don't say it's lore breaking for the Norn, but they have made their own central hub where they all gather. And Norn are supposed to be very independent, but they got pushed out of their land because of these things called Elder Dragons. We haven't heard the term Elder Dragon yet, so I don't want to go too into it, but that's the reason why they all kind of migrated down south and then decided to build a community hub here. My opinion, though, I think they should have stayed very independent, and there should be like only like maybe like a couple Norn that hang out here, because like that's their thing, right? There's not supposed to be a lot of Norn. They're very powerful fighters, warriors, whatever you want to call them, on their own, so they don't have like a military. But anyways, we're gonna get a wolf, and you just need to go up to him, charm him, and then that's it. I'll equip it now. And then we can switch back and forth between Sir Krusty and then our wolf. We will name after my doggo, Lady. So yeah, we have Lady, our wolf, and then we have Sir Krusty. And so eventually we'll get an ability that affects that when we swap our pet, we get like a boon. So we'll build into that, and the wolf can do a chilling breath. Very cool. Anyways, we can go back to the story. Teleport all the way back. Right next to it. That's another reason I took that detour. Because like, oh, that story instance is literally right next to the waypoint we have already unlocked. But before we go in, I'm going to get myself some more water. So I will be right back. I want to hit like a camera mode that has the camera idle around, but this game, unfortunately... Oh, we got our mask on. That's cool. Maybe we'll go over our some of our choices for our headgear. I don't know if we'll change our gear because I like the the first player. Fine. Create here.
I chose you.
There's Krusty. Get a good look of his mug. Let's see what he does. There's also a rabbit right there. Rabbits are actually dangerous. Have I tried modding Delita in to replace characters like Ramza? No, but I did do the one. Hang on, I'll get that in a second. I'll be right back. I need Sir Krusty, good job. Keeping an eye on everybody. I had to get a snack too. I need a button. Like a be right back button. That's what I'll do. Oh look, somebody's got their flying mount. It's called a sky scale. It's like a dragon. Like a mini dragon. But the mods for tactics. I saw the one that lets you add those characters to your party, and I was thinking about doing that one. Not necessarily replacing Ramza. I haven't actually checked out the tactics mods in a while. I should probably take a look, see what they've done. Because that's something I like to make content for on the channel. I need to start drinking tea as well. I think that would help the throat a little bit. Alright, we're here at the story instance. Alright, Sir Krusty, you did a good job. Hi, lady. Yeah, Elmdor's a sweet character. I hope, well, I don't think they'll ever do a prequel to Final Fantasy Tactics, but if they did during the 50-year war, ooh. You gotta imagine you'd get to fight alongside Elmdor, Ramza's dad, Sid, obviously being Sid. Even Zalbag was there too. That'd be sick. I feel like there's so many characters, but it's almost better to like leave that part of the game to like your imagination of how they would have all worked together. But let us continue the story. The Informant. And this is just like a general Seraph statue there. Yeah, so story instances, they actually like cut off like part of the world, and now we're in our own little story section.
We had a deal, you thick-headed sap.
You said centaurs. You didn't mention catapults. Double the pay or we're leaving.
Double? How am I supposed to make a profit when you charge so much? Forget it.
I don't see that you have much of a choice, little man.
Money-grubbing Norn. You'd spend it all on ale. How in Melandru's name am I supposed to get these supplies back to the city?
So that's our first experience with a Norn. That's kind of how they would roll. But you also see that there's only one Norn. Again, they usually travel alone as far as not with their own people. That Norn there has a little mercenary group with them, but all on his own. Alright, what's going on here, dude? Sin?
You there. You look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I need to get to the garrison, and my oafish guards just turned coward. What do you cost?
Cost? Not a mercenary.
I look like a
I'm
mercenary.
here to ask for help identifying the craftsmanship of a piece of handmade paper.
If you found quality paper in Divinity's Reach, I can assure you, I made it. Reams of paper are like snowflakes. I know my pages as well as most people know their children.
Can you tell me who bought a particular piece of paper?
This dude's
I'm
really into
investigating
paper.
The matter for the Seraph.
Yes, I could. But why should I? I'm a resident of Lion's Arch. Your queen's got no authority over me. And my clients expect discretion.
Please, it's very important. Can you make an exception?
I'll make you a deal. The road to Shaymore is dangerous these days. Protect me until I reach the garrison, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Let's get started. I need this information as soon as possible.
Yeah, so Lion's Arch, again, kind of like a pirate city. One of the books went into detail, well, the story was, on how Lion's Arch reformed, and they basically got their independence from the human nation. Because that was a point of contention, is the fact that, hey, Lion's Arch, this is part of our nation. You can't just come in here and like rebuild everything and then call it your own. Anyways, that was the whole plot there. Eventually they're like, okay, you can have Lion's Arch. That's how that went. But now we gotta protect this guy, even though he's just gotta go over the the hill there, and then he's at the garrison. Our wolf is working great. Hit him with the frost breath. Yeah.
Time to do some real damage.
But some pets are better than others. Is it something you need to min-max? No. Kind of like Baldur's Gate 3. I think the RP is way more important. Well, these guys are a little tankier. I love the sound effects of the dagger being thrown. That bam. Is there like a chocobo in this game? Oh. Hang on. Let's beat this story. And yes. Yes, there is. And I think they specifically... They have one of their mounts have a almost like a bird. They have like a chocobo skin, essentially. And you know somebody plays Final Fantasy. Take these suckers down.
Live on.
I don't think so, Centaur. We should be there very shortly. Actually, I think they locked the gate. And we have to defend them. Like, it's too dangerous out there. Listen, we are a Final Fantasy channel at our heart of hearts. I mean, heck, where is he? Right there. The blue mage, or black mage. Behind us. He's always there.
The centaurs have erected catapults! Secure the gates!
There are siege weapons in this game too, mostly that plays into effect with world versus world, which there's this giant PvP open world zone. You have keeps, castles, and how do you get into those places? Well, you gotta build siege equipment. Today is not a world versus world stream, but eventually I think we will do one. World versus world is very fun. I actually have my very, 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 very first YouTube channels. I was just like, I think just bored one day and decided to make some, but during the beta of the game, I made some videos on some of the world versus world I lost all that account information though. But those videos are still there. Maybe one day we'll go down memory lane and kind of look at them. Because it's beta footage, so that iteration of the game, a lot has changed. We took out those three. That was easy. So what we should do is get that other signet, and then we can easily swap between it when we're just running around to get that 25% speed buff. Min-maxing.
Very well. I held up my end of the bargain. You're safe. Now, tell me who bought this paper.
Safe? Barely. I feel like I was run over by a herd of marauding Dolyaks. That paper was made of pulp from the Severine tree. It's one of a kind. I sold it to Minister Zaman. He has exceptional taste.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know. You might be called as a witness if Zaman is brought to trial, so don't leave Divinity's reach.
How very quaint. If the Ministry sends a formal summons, I'll come. At least they'll use decent parchment on the subpoena.
We have our laws, we have our rules. That's the story instance, so we can just go ahead and leave. And then I think we'll just go talk to Captain Thackeray, and then that'll end the quest. We can teleport right to him. So the Seraph have their office literally right next to the palace. Yeah, so this is like the Seraph HQ. The Shining Blade, kind of the Royal Palace, but they have like their own location. And then the Chamber of Ministers. This is where the Ministry Guard kind of is held up at, if I'm not mistaken. But we can go ahead and continue. Oh wait, let's show you the mount skin. Let's see here. It is under this whole menu's a freaking clusterfuck. Mounts. We have our Raptor. Now I just want to look at the Raptor skins. I don't have the skin, by the way. I don't. Skins are sweet and everything, but they're kind of pricey. Where is the Chocobo? It was like one of their early ones. They do add some of the skins to be, you can earn them in game. But yeah, there's a lot of skins they sell, and they make bank. Trying to find this bastard. Because of course it's not just going to be called a Chocobo skin. Oh, it's this one here. The Road Runner. So you can dye these, and then so you can make this thing look all yellow, and it's about as close as you're going to get to a Chocobo. But yeah, this is probably one of the only ones I would get. Also mount skins in this game. They are behind these like licenses, and then you get a random skin. So it's random, but it's a knockout system. I don't like that. Essentially, some skins you can just buy outright. I prefer this, but this gambling loot box thing, yeah, not a fan of it. That's probably another reason why I just never invest into pet skins. I don't want to deal with the RNG and spend a lot of money. But yeah, you can make a Chocobo. Michael, you haven't touched. Oh, since Guild Wars, okay, Reforged. Have you been playing Guild Wars Reforged instead? Is that what you're saying? Because I at least log in, gotta be like weekly to play Reforged, just because it's fun. And there's like little things you can do. I'm still working on my second and third legendary Ascalonian character because they just made that whole pre-searing so much easier.
I've been hoping to see you again. Do you have any news? What did the papermaker say?
First Sarai admitted he made the paper for Minister Zaman. He also agreed to testify to that effect.
I knew Seaman was shady, but organized crime? Setting up citizens to be robbed and brutalized? That's out-and-out treason. Nevertheless, he's a government official. I can't call him to trial without more evidence. Oh, where are my manners?
Elmdor's probably taken as a name, not gonna lie.
Exemplar of the Shining Blade.
Minister Wee's hosting a party tonight. It'll be a good opportunity to eavesdrop on ministers.
Well, a party? Well, that's right up our alley as a noble.
Or we could search Zaman's house. The law allows it if someone's in danger. or if we suspect treason. All right. We have one shot, so it's either the party or Zayman's house. I can't give you orders, so let me know how you want to proceed.
So we get a little bit of a choice. If we do one, we can't do the other. You could say this is like, the outcome, it doesn't matter, but the replayability to do different decisions, get different story missions. It's a nice touch. Let's go to Zayman's house. We're not really the party type, even though we're a noble. I'm sure.
Your fellow nobles seem to have a knack for making my life interesting. Let's see if I can turn.
Nice. Ooh, we get some different outfits here. All right, let's go with this one, the marksman. Put that on. That looks better. We don't need that helmet on. We're looking okay. We're level 13. That's good. Did we get anything else? That's the question. More pants. I've got a cowbell. And then more luck. We're just going to hang on to all this luck. Because it is like it's a crafting resource. And I have so much like account luck that I actually want to use this raw luck for as a material. Let's go ahead and exit. Elmder, later, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Always welcome to talk about tactics, even if we're not playing it. I could yap about that game all day. Eventually, we will do a tactics playthrough, a live stream of it, because that is just one of my favorite games of all time. And we have a lot of videos on it too, so I feel like we've built somewhat of a, I don't know if you want to call it a community around the game. What else did we get? Just a bunch of crap to sell. Let's just get to the next story instance. While we're walking through, we're picking up points of interest, waypoints, little bits of experience. Divinity's Reach, as like an MMO hub city, I really like it. It's got a vibe, that's for sure. User glider. Alright, Sir Krusty, I need you on your A game. Another house here. Yeah, there's some of these houses are open so you can go inside, and I think there's just not enough interior places. But yeah, they post launch added an update to you can actually like sit in certain chairs to kind of help out the RP scene a little bit. The RP in this game it's okay. It's nothing compared to Final Fantasy XIV, but that's fine. But there is an RP scene. Because, you know, you have emotes like, let's see here. We can just talk. We're just chit-chatting. And this will just run infinitely. Let's search the premises.
You take the lead. I got your back.
It's the captain of the Seraph. I think he should take the lead. Is someone out there? What do you want? By order of the Crichton Seraph, open this door and stand down. You have no authority. We carry out the authority vested in us by the Queen, damn you. Open the door.
He's here.
So these are the Ministry Guard. Again, they protect the high-ranking nobles. And who has jurisdiction is kind of,
If Zayman is a traitor,
up for debate
we'll find
after
proof
the
of it
fact.
here.
What are we looking for?
Suspicious papers or letters. Anything that links him to the bandit attacks. Keep your eyes open and your senses sharp. If you find anything
So the whole plot here is the fact that these bandits may or may not be getting help from somebody within the city. And judging that we're dealing with somebody from the ministry, that'd be somebody who is very high up.
This is the only house that
Just going through in here and just checking shit. These poor guys, I think we technically knocked them out. They're not dead.
The blueprints.
There we go.
Weren't you paying attention?
Oh, I've been robbed in your district.
We're not here to murder you. Just go to sleep. But yeah, the Ministry Guard, they have this like silver and then red, like tabard look. They look stylish. Kind of a bunch of pushovers. Ah, Mr. Zayman himself. And it looks like he's hired a Norn.
Zayman's here. Now I can arrest him for his part in this, and he can rot in
I do
prison.
not have a Discord server. I thought about it.
Treating him like a common criminal only creates more problems. Political problems. We have to do this.
But then I'd have to
formally,
manage
by
a
the
Discord
book.
server.
You sound like a niece.
And I gotta tell you guys,
You're right.
when I log off
We'll
here,
issue a subpoena and warn the gate guards. If he tries
barely
to
like on the PC.
What's going on here? What are you doing in my house?
As captain of the Seraph in the service of Her Royal Majesty Queen Jenna, I call you to
They do have like Galapagos colors. I think that's why I like
This is outrageous. On what
the
charge?
human politics in this game.
treason against the crown and citizens of Divinity's Reach. Pray for Cormier's mercy, Zayman. You're gonna need all the help you can get.
But anyways, that's why I like the human politics in this, because they have like strong faction identity. Like the Seraph here, it's that, you know, silver, iron look, whatever you want to call it, gray. But then they have like gold and white. We just saw the Ministry Guard. This is fucking crusty there. There's no bodies. But they've got that silver and red. And then the Shining Blade. We can actually kind of take a look at them. If we teleport right in front of the palace. But they have a golden blue look. There they are. So, they look almost like more regal. But very cool. I like the factions in the human. Or I guess it's just in Kryta. There's a lot more human factions as well. And they have their own like sub-factions. Like eventually we'll go to Ebonhawk, which is like the last resistance of Ascalon. And their Ebon Vanguard. Now those are some styling dudes. They look cool. Is it Hukadin? I think that's what it is, right? I just go with Order of the Northern Order of the Northern Sky. It's funny, they had those very Japanese names back in the first PlayStation 1
Our witnesses have arrived.
version.
You ready to present the case? As a noble, you are our best representative.
I've gone over everything a dozen times.
No, I haven't.
Unless something goes horribly wrong, we'll get our man.
It's gonna go horribly wrong.
At this rate, Queen Jenna's guaranteed to notice you. If nothing else, I'll make sure your name reaches her ears.
Minister Codicus is waiting. Signal him when you're ready. Good luck. And may Lissa bless you with unparalleled eloquence.
So Countess Anise, she is the leader of the Shining Blade. She is a mesmer. She's also stylish as hell. But she got that royal blue. She's a great character. And then where's the queen? I don't think she's actually here. Okay, but the queen is also a mesmer. So it's like all these high level nobles that are extremely powerful. Yeah, they're all mesmers for a reason, because they're super strong. We get some more points. We're gonna go with survival, because I really just want Zephyr's quickness here, or quickening Zephyr. And you'll see what quickening does, or quickness does as a boon. It's very powerful. And also this gives us super speed, and it's a sunbreak as well. This utility skill is excellent. But let's go ahead and get started with the trial, because that's what nobles do. And this is kind of the minister's like chamber. Kind of like what would you call it? Parliament, something like that, where everybody just kind of yells at each other. I am ready to present my case. Zayman's a bastard.
Hear ye, the trial of Minister Julius Zayman is
Ask
hereby called
anything
to order.
you want
Legate
with the
Minister
games that
Codicus
we
presiding.
cover.
Who stands
Tactics
for the
is
prosecution?
right up there.
I do. Your Honor, we have evidence proving Minister Zayman conspired against the citizens of Divinity's Reach.
He abused his authority to commit thievery, murder, and treason.
Murder.
We will present incriminating documents and sworn testimony from respected
So
members
Minister
of the community,
Codicus, he's like the head
including
minister.
the accused's own
Because you have the
sister.
queen, the ministry.
prosecution seems to have prepared quite a compelling case. Minister Zeman, can you refute these dire accusations?
Refute? Why bother? My Lord Codicus, in accordance with the most ancient tenets of Crichton
Tactics,
law,
yes.
I
Kronos,
invoke
somebody
my
said
right to
tactics.
Trial by combat.
Trial by combat.
This court
Damn it.
accepts your invocation. By law and custom, you may choose a second to fight with you in the circle.
Thank you, Legate Minister. I choose my retainer, Eitel the Unlovable, as my second.
The prosecution must also nominate a principal and a second, or forfeit the case.
I will be the principal legate minister. I'd like to request a short recess to select my second.
My second,
Granted,
I choose the
When
mountain.
the prosecution is ready to continue, this
No,
court
I
will
choose Prince
reconvene.
Orban
Trial by
Martell.
combat will begin.
That'll go well. I think this went on around when Game of Thrones was at its height. And it's like, yeah, trial by combat. Maybe overused a little bit. Anyways, who do we want to choose as our second? We could choose Lord Farron. Anise is probably the best choice because she's the most powerful. Thackeray's no slouch either. But yeah, I think Anise is the most powerful. Lord Farron, he's kind of the funny choice. We'll take the Farron. Oh, do we not get to select? Oh, I think we have to talk to her. This just lets us know, hey, you can kind of talk to them. They let you know. Sure, I'm interested. I'll help you fight, but then you actually make the decision over here. So I think we'll take Lord Farron.
We're ready to begin, Legate Minister. I've chosen my second.
That's right. I choose
An
Sir
interesting
Krusty.
choice. For the record, let it be known that this duel will continue until both members of one side surrender or are defeated. If Lord Zeman proves victorious, he is innocent. The case is thrown out and these charges against him may not be brought again. If you win, then Zeman is found guilty of this crime.
I understand.
When you're in position, the trial by combat shall proceed. Good luck to you all. May justice prevail.
So for tactics, are you saying will 2 knights, 1 ninja, and a black mage do well? Yeah. That'll be very, very powerful. The only thing you might want to be careful of is it's a lot of melee. So getting around targets might be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But with a black mage, you're gonna destroy everything from range. So if the knights, one of them has like item or white magic or rezzing, you should be fine. But with everybody again with auto potion, kind of makes the game a cakewalk. All right, let's defeat him. Oh, he just jumped straight in there. Hit him, Sir Krusty. We can actually be attacking from range. They start a ring of fire. We don't really need to worry about that. Sir Krusty over there dominating. So he has that gold ring around his portrait. So he's a champion. And then that bar under him, this is the Defiance bar. So if we switch to our greatsword, we use... Oh, bash? Well, that didn't work. Okay, that's supposed to work. But that would have depleted the Defiance bar if we would have gotten rid of the whole Defiance bar. They would have been stunned, and we could do more damage.
Of Crichton law, Minister Zeman is found guilty.
And dead.
Minister Codicus does not look happy.
He doesn't like anything to infringe on the rights of ministers. Trial by combat took the judgment out of his hands.
Did it? How do you think Zeman knew about the ancient law in the first place? He's no historian.
You think Codicus advised Zeman about the clause?
If Zeman won the battle, he'd be declared innocent. No more investigation. Now he's guilty, but he's also dead. No loose ends. Never underestimate Minister Codicus.
At least we know the identity of Zeman's backer. Go and celebrate a well-earned victory.
Aye, aye.
Reese and I will be in touch with you.
Woohoo! So yeah, now everybody who was here is very aware of that ancient law of trial by combat, because it apparently wasn't a rule that was, you know, a lot of people were aware of. Now everybody knows. So if you're guilty and you're noble, you can say, well, I choose trial by combat. A lot of dead nobles. Anyways, yeah, this guy came to Sin. I wish there was a way to incriminate Minister Zaman without combat. So actually using all the evidence and building a case. I think that would have been a cool option, but no, you have to fight him. He has to die. Did we complete the quest? If so, what did we get? Oh, here we go. Aha, our Black Lion key. So this actually ends the first story arc of your origin character. So this section that we just did had to deal with our origin story as far as our status. So we didn't pick Street Rat. We did not pick Commoner. This was the nobility line. After this, it's going to transition to our next choice, which was between our choosing if we had dead parents or if we had a dead sister. A lot of dead family members. I think we chose dead sister. But now that next quest will carry into that story. And then after that's done, that'll be the finish. That will finish off our race, our human story. And then we'll move into something called the orders. And you get to pick an order, yada, yada, yada. But we're not there yet. But anyways, because we finished this story arc, this is what I was talking about earlier when you used to be able to just create a new character, rush the story, and then you'd get this thing right here called the Black Lion key. Now I think this is on a weekly cooldown, so you can do this once a week. But those are very, very good to have because they give you access to the stuff in a Black Lion chest, which could be all sorts of stuff. Not something a new player needs to worry about. We also got this super loot bag from the festival that's going on. And this stuff here is not really... It doesn't have to do with us as a new player. We also got a new bow. It's powerful. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and equip that. And then boots, yes. A little bit of inventory management we're going to have to do. But now we're kind of back to where we were before once we finished the prologue, which was we need to go back out into the open world. We need to level up a little bit. I think level... I wish it told you, it probably did, when the next story instance is unlocked. I think if we go into here, we go into the story side. Yes, level 20. Level 20, we will get the next section of the story. I don't know if we need to do that on stream. We can actually do that in the off stream because we're going to wrap things up. But before we do, I said we do like a little bit of an account tour. Good job, AutoMod. catching some spammers. Gotta love that. But where do we want to exit? We can just exit here. It's a little bit of an account tour. So I have every profession, sometimes a couple of them, except for engineer. I don't like engineer. But my main character is usually my guardian here, and he looks sick. See, I got the bailiff name here at the end. And then my ranger, this was my first character, this is Delita. Delita from Final Fantasy Tactics being a ranger doesn't make any sense. He should be either a guardian or a warrior, so I'm very well aware of that, but it's too late. I'm not going to change his name. And then we have our warrior. So these are like my main three, and then I have my mesmer. But other than that, yeah, a lot of characters. A lot of them are human. I didn't realize this. I've made a crap ton of humans, guys. And then I have one Salvari, who I think she looks sweet. Very plant-like, like the red and the green. She looks cool. But on our guardian, kind of see like a bunch of you probably have met me in fractals, especially if I was on my warrior. My warrior is kind of my fractal person. But on my guardian here, Got all the different mounts, and you can just go crazy. We're in Alona right now, which is way down over here, which we're not going to get there for a long time. But what I wanted to show you guys is the fact that inventory management turns into a little bit of a nightmare. So investing in a character that has all the bag slots unlocked, and then having these 20 slot bags. I think there's a 32 one if you do the Season of the Dragon, but I haven't done that yet. Which is just a very easy but grindy achievement you can do. But yeah, inventory fills up real quick. But what I was looking for when we made our ranger is these right here. These are all my legendary items. These are all account wide. If that particular character can use the legendary item. So you have to be level 80. If you're not level 80, you can't see any of these. And then you have to also be able to use those weapons. But if you can follow all that criteria is met, you can literally just equip these weapons. And these are the best weapons in the game. They have the highest stats. You can choose and change the stats up on them at any time. Anytime you want. This is the full list of all the gear stats in the game. So it's a huge convenience factor. And these will always be the best. That's why to get them, it's a little bit of a grind, but just know it's not something that's seasonally going to be thrown away in like 6 months. No. These are excellent all the time. At least getting a few legendary weapons, at least one, I think is what everybody should do. Just because it's kind of like, it is like the end game, the pinnacle thing to do. So I have a couple legendary weapons. There's a lot more people who have a lot more than this. My heavy armor set here, so any of my heavy armor characters can have legendary armor and swap their stats at any time. Other than that, there are relics that they added, which it's like another step with Buildcraft that will do just little things. These things are actually not as powerful as a lot of people would want. They're kind of tame. And then capes. I don't know why I'm making capes a big deal, because this was like a recent addition. Usually they just had like backpacks and things in your back slot, but we have cape technology. So that's really cool. That was a big thing in Guild Wars 1. So it's nice to see that they finally added it to Guild Wars 2. Another thing with legendary weapons is you can change the cosmetic look of them for free. Because to change your outfit, or to change something, you have to use something called transmutation charges, but not if it's a legendary weapon or equipment. This system here, little bit, there we go. So if we went over here, right here, you would have to do one transmutation charge. Those transmutation charges you get by playing either PvP, World versus World, and once you get the ball rolling on those things, they're really easy to earn. You can also buy them in the store, but don't do that. Just earn them in game. But anyways, that allows you to change your look, and all these all these gear pieces, you just have to salvage them, or once you earn them, it goes into basically your wardrobe. So you actually don't need to hang on to any pieces. As long as you obtain the gear, you get that style or that choice to switch your gear to that style. But you have to wear heavy armor if you're a heavy armor character. So you can't be wearing like medium armor stuff. The way they kind of get around that is outfits. Outfits will give you a different style. So like this one, this doesn't look heavy armor at all, but my guardian can wear it, etc. This is kind of like the end game character. We don't have to worry about that on our new character for a long time. And you'll slowly, again, if you're a new player, you'll slowly be introduced to all these systems and kind of see how it opens up the game. Because if you aren't doing vertical progression, as in you're getting gear that's just making your character stronger and stronger, what keeps people hooked to this game? And it's that horizontal progression. It's unlocking gear, getting legendary equipment, because to get this level of tier, as far as the stats, this is considered like ascendant quality, which is very easy to get in the game. But the only difference between legendary and ascended is legendary you can swap the stats freely. Ascended, there is a way to change the stats, but you got to use some materials and throw it into like a mystic toilet. It's a whole thing. Additionally, once you hit 80, you enter into the mastery system. So you have all these masteries to unlock, and they will give you a lot of convenience for playing the game. And one of the biggest conveniences is something like the glider. So Central Tyria, this is just the base game. It's broken down by expansions. Heart of Thorns, this was the first expansion. It gave us gliding. So your glider will just get more powerful as you level this up. There's also some lore. These ones aren't as important as they first made them out to be. A little awkward with these ones. Whereas gliding, this is universally excellent across everybody. But these lore ones, kind of take it or leave it. But the next big quality of life after gliding was the mount system. And these, unlocking these and getting these all leveled up is just a huge boon for mobility and zipping around the map. Ruins the exploration side of the game, in my opinion, just because you are so fast, don't really get to appreciate anything. And then eventually, you can kind of see where I fell off with the game a little bit, because I have everything from here, and then Icebrood Saga, still working on some things. End of Dragon, still working on some things. Secrets of the Obscure, almost done actually. I could finish this. But anyways, just another form of progression when it comes to the end game of Guild Wars 2. And again, you get to this very slowly after doing the story. And it's what you do after you hit max level. So that's kind of, this is like the high, this is like the tippity top of what you do with your character, but we are a very, very long way off. And then the other system, not on this character, because there's a stat right here, it's called Agony Resistance. This is for a specific game mode called, or section of the game, kind of like Dungeons, called Fractals of the Mist. And this is like an arbitrary stat check as you climb up in difficulty, and my warrior is actually the one dedicated to that. Switching over to him. And we're in Lion's Arch. This is the aerodrome. It's kind of like the raid area where everybody meets to go into raids. The Red Gate, obviously, that's a teleporter to a raid. That's how they usually tell you that this is difficult. Maybe you should, bring a party. But that's real end game stuff. But on my warrior here, my berserker, that's my elite specialization. I have all this agony resistance. So this is my fractal character. And eventually, when we're leveling up, we're going to get access to our trait lines. So we have all these different traits. You go down, these ones are locked in, but then you get a choice of these three. You get another one that's locked in, another choice of these three. This one's locked in, and then the final one, usually the most powerful, is here. We get a lot of choices between all these lines, and then we get to pick one elite specialization. And so for the warrior here, it's Berserker, Spellbreaker, Blade Swarm, and then Paragon. You can only have one elite spec on. The other ones, these are called the core specializations. You can technically just have all three core specializations. You're going to be completely fine. You can be very powerful in that way. You don't need an elite spec, but the elite spec usually does change up your profession's mechanics, and it's just a fresh way to play a character that you've been playing like forever without changing the profession completely into like something else, like Ranger. So another form of progression in this game. So Guild Wars 2 is absolutely stacked for a new player in general. Even somebody who's been around since the very beginning, myself, I still have a lot of things that I could do, but it's just a matter of, do you want to do them, etc. Me, I kind of take my time. I stick with like one character, don't really feel like I need to progress them, etc. But yeah, that is Guild Wars 2 in a nutshell. And hopefully by going through it on our Ranger here, kind of get to see what the game's about. Some of the things that are account-wide we're already going to have, so that's a little unfortunate, but should give you an idea of how the game works. But yeah, I think that's where we will stop today, and then tomorrow we are off, so that's Wednesday. We'll be back Thursday, and we'll continue the story. This is mainly going to be a story playthrough, because I think there's a lot to talk about with the Guild Wars 2 story, and I think it's really good. I love the Guild Wars universe overall. So that's what we'll focus on. Eventually we can kind of deviate maybe do some festival things, maybe do some of the other game modes to show those off for like half a stream, something like that. That could be fun. But yeah, guys, any questions about Guild Wars 2, feel free to drop them. Same thing with with like Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy questions in general. It's all game, because MMOs are very chill. The laid back time, we're kind of just shooting the shit about whatever topics we want to discuss. But yeah, that's it for the stream today. Thank you guys for hanging out. Lana, appreciate. Oh, Lana, hey, we're not the Iron Wayfaring Nomad anymore. I finally changed it on the Twitch side. So I'm a mess. We synergized everything with the Iron Nomad, and then you guys bullied me back to the Wayfaring Nomad, and so now I had to change it back to the Twitch side. So now it's all unified under that. Our name is literally a redundancy because we're a Wayfaring Nomad, a Wayfarer, and a Nomad. They're pretty similar. But anyways, yes, this was a great time. I love Guild Wars 2. I love Final Fantasy 14. I love Baldur's Gate 3. That's kind of going to be our bread and butter. And of course, I love Tactics. So that'll be our bread and butter going forward. Unless something new sparks up that we need to cover. Yeah, I was bullied. Bullied by my chat. Peer pressured. They say that goes away after high school. No, it never does. Yes, Sir Krusty, wherever he is, we'll keep him. We'll keep him around. There is another wolf I wanted to get. So they have this white wolf here, or winter wolf, alpine wolf, and then they have another one that has like a gray and white coat that also looks nice. Has different abilities. Instead of chilling, they actually fear the targets, which is pretty strong because it's a crowd control. And also it'll stop enemies coming after us. Lightning breath. This is okay. I think we can get one that has fire breath. So maybe Sir Krusty 2? I don't know. Alright guys, thank you for hanging out. And I will see you next time. Peace. Also, the music in Guild Wars 2 is awesome, and it won't be hit with any copyright strikes, I hope. Oh, Star Wars. I should have known better.